Welcome back for the first time. It's
Oh gosh, this does not stay on. So, why is there fireworks going off? It's July 3rd.
What's going on?
Did you know that Gain Superflings were created
Oh,
by award-winning
that's
computers
not
and
staying on.
scientists? They supersized the fling and filled it with activated detergent, then added 3 times the Febreze freshness and 4 times the Oxy cleaning power. No wonder I'm obsessed. Try Gain Superflings. Safeguarding Canadians' liberty takes advanced table shift. It also takes
Can you switch around? Oh, but then I can't see the chat.
Hello. Welcome to another.
Oh.
Hello. Welcome to another video and a new sketchbook. Look at the crisp, clean cover. I've been putting a lot of time into creating a character that I want to feature on the cover. If I jump to the page, I created this character. No spoilers. Go check out the video. I'll have it linked up there. This character I plan on utilizing for my cover and the first page of the sketchbook. There'll be an illustration here, and then we'll move to the cover and maybe paint on it. I'm practicing my acrylic painting. Let's hope that it pays off. So where I like to start is right here. Obviously, I jumped the gun and start working on the character. Now that I've put that time into the character design and I've let it like rumble around in my brain, there are some things I kind of think I might change, but we'll see as we go. This is the color scheme that I used for this character. We're gonna have to be able to transfer those into paints, and then I also have a fine liner and full eraser pencil. Here's a picture on a separate piece of paper, so I can actually have it out. What we need to do is find a way to take this character and then transfer it into an illustration that's going to work well in a square format. So like the cover of the sketchbook's a square, as well as the first page of the sketchbook. So the place to start is to draw a little mini square, and that will be our thumbnail. And then you can try and fit the character into that. I really like the sketch with her sitting in the snow. So I'm thinking if Kyle's coming from the left, then the character would be pointing towards the opening of the sketchbook. So like it's like she's looking at the opening of, I don't know. I feel like it's cute, right? We need a big pile of snow. She needs to be like the forefront of it. And the other thing that's really important to the covers is I like to put the number of my sketchbook. So this is going to be my 26th sketchbook. And we need to find a way to like fit those words in here too.
This mask does not stay
And the
on.
big poofy vest and the big boots. We could like try and draw imprints in the snow of the 26, or we could go with like a banner approach. We could like just put the number, like a cover of a book or something. This will all be dark. Let's try a little bit bigger and really work on that pose. I don't want it to be, boring. Or if we have her leaning more into the snow.
Draw.
With her knees up. It almost looks like she was just pushed into the snow, like it's the beginning of a snow fight. You could do a really confused face, would help illustrate that storyline. So one of the things that I'm not 100% on are these socks and then the jagged shorts. I did explore that idea a little bit more, and I thought if I make them corduroy, it makes more sense because that's more like a winter fabric. The way it's kind of protruding out, like right at that bottom, it makes me think of a skirt. So I just make it a skirt. Well, that's just one of the things going around my head, at least. If she did really get pushed, her head would be like further back here. Like,
That is.
I'm not a huge fan of that pose because you don't actually see the snow being thrown, and it just puts her in a pretty precarious position. But I can still use the same thumbnail to kind of explore how I would like to put the words in there. Essentially, just writing sketchbook 26. Let's draw her character here. Last time I asked for like names on what I should name her. I haven't quite found the one yet, so I guess I'm still calling her the girl. So if you have any more suggestions, let me know.
Sawichi.
Let's try it once with a skirt. Kind of try and imitate that same shape if possible. That's kind of weird. Like it's big.
What's me?
Collar.
Hi. What's me?
Mittens. Kites.
It's
Or
me.
socks, I guess. I might throw in a little bit of color here. Memory. And
Oh, you're gonna run away.
Yellow paper anyway. So.
Be a big boy. It's okay.
Blue,
It's
little bit
okay.
of gray on
It's
here.
okay.
Yay.
You say hi.
I'm quite happy with the design that we
You
came
say
up with.
hi.
I'm kind of excited to work on this design with the paint, like copying the colors. I don't have to mix them.
It's
See if I
okay.
learned anything.
Okay, I'll put you back to bed. I'm sorry.
I throw them some nice. So you can kind of see the character. It's always good to draw it a couple times. If you're interested in what the colors are, it's pale yellow, garnet, baby blue.
No idea what to draw.
Now, if I don't like the sitting pose, another idea would be to just kind of do a close up of the character's face, maybe just side of it.
Mhm.
From that is kind of,
See if I can
tap
find
out.
any
But I
inspo.
would be able to kind of add detail. The hair kind of going around the side. Forgot the collar. And then you could put sketchbook 26 here. That does give me a little bit more leeway
Hello.
with
Hold on.
the acrylic
I can't-
paint, since I do have a
can't
harder
read
time
from up
getting
here.
details.
One
I would
second.
probably draw something different for like the welcoming day,
Lisa.
because I'd be using my
No.
I could do more detail. So like I
Hi.
close up for the cover.
I
And
need a
the small
mask.
problem with that idea is that
I'm trying to find
there.
inspo.
It's an idea, and you can have her looking up at
I'm seriously
the
searching
words.
Pinterest.
I kind of want to draw little like snowflakes.
Hello.
Snowing.
I'm in the worst shirt.
I'm gonna try just coloring in these
That
types
mask is so
red.
cute. Thank you. I made it like 5 minutes ago.
It's boring. I feel like I kind of like the
I
idea.
just
This
had
is
my
the
red out.
shorts.
1 second. I'm getting my
I don't really fit dress with
Sorry,
the
Chief.
I could even for the cover have her like pull the helmet down.
Chief.
Give me another square.
Can I take you
Like what
out?
about a slightly pulled back so we get some shoulder
It's a rat.
action. Like
It's a rat.
pulling the mask down on
Hi.
the face. Eyes would be kind of covering up here.
Will you? Can you not?
This would all be the inside of the ski mask. And then the
Dang, that's
goggles.
good. Thank you. Sorry, Chief. Come
I'm gonna
here.
do that same kind of knit pattern on the
Can I?
gloves.
It's
I do
me.
like a slightly blowing effect.
It's a
Just so
rat.
you see it. It should kind of be a
It's a
very
rat.
rosy and being cold.
Hi.
Probably be folding back into the neck tighter there.
You just
Think
want to wander off.
pulling down the ski
No,
mask
you'll fall.
gives me a
You'll
lot
fall.
more
Okay.
room to be expressive with the facial features. The gloves higher over the face. With the snowflakes, I might actually draw the same pose again, but like a
Tiny
little bit
second.
more covered. Try that again. Face.
Give me 1
So
tiny second.
normally the ski mask kind of like fits over the eyes. The goggles. Maybe swirl the hair back. That's fine. That's fine. Bring the arms up. Put the gloves
Yeah.
like here.
Ignore it.
Just gonna come down this much. Hold the mouth up a little. Putting the mouth up just makes the chin look huge.
Okay, this has to
I
come
think
off.
that works better.
can't.
Especially put the mask
It's
up, and then
cardboard.
you'll forget that the mask was even there. So
It
if
has
I want
to
the
come off.
ski
I can't.
mask, I'm
It's
gonna
too loose.
either leave it on all the way or go like this around. So I'm gonna try and replicate that with this. See if I know how to do it. I put under
I
the
hate
chin.
showing my face.
See
And
the
ew, I
chin.
hate my voice.
I'm gonna try
I don't know what to draw. What?
Something other just drawing gloves, I don't draw hands. That makes it easy, right? I think I
Help.
make it kind of like
Help.
similar, but from a different angle.
I'll distract you with a 3D printed frog.
That makes more sense.
I'll distract you with the 3D printed frog.
Okay, I think this has some merit. I'm liking this. I feel like this could definitely work. I would take that one over this one, but this face might be helpful
Nice.
with a little bit of line
Well,
art. Want to try that first? Let's try to add wrinkles here. See if that actually makes sense.
Not a problem.
Pattern of
Just-
some
I'm
kind.
gonna cover my face. Oh, can't even see my
Does
face.
look right.
All right.
Just throw in a little color here.
Can you even see my page? No, don't.
The next thing I need to do is figure out what pose I want on the welcoming page. Instead of thinking the cover in acrylic paints, I'm thinking, what can I do on the markers? Just gonna kind of doodle around here, see if something inspires me. I want the normal ski mask. This is like a pile of snow. Snowman in the distance. I don't even know where I
I
would put
don't
the
even know if
words.
that shows up very well.
So
Does that?
simple. I could cut
Does
it
that?
off
Oh, it does.
here, then
Kind of.
all the words
I don't know.
here. Like it. Let me try one last thing. These squares
It might
keep
show up
getting
if
bigger
I
as
ever
I
do line
mention.
art.
How about something classic? This kind of reminds me of one of my first sketchbooks where you just have the character kind of leaning on the word.
I'm using my laptop to film, and that may have not have been what
You could even make the words
may
made out
have
of
not
snow
have
or
been
something.
the best idea.
One of those sculptures.
Fun for me.
Like this. Maybe a circle. You can put more snowflakes.
Why is there fireworks going off? It's July 3rd, I think. Is it?
Better like sitting.
Yeah.
Pose, but I would really like to do something sitting.
I swear I
Maybe
hear
on a
fireworks.
square.
Maybe I'm just crazy.
I'm not a fan of the straight on because we could add a lot of swords to the hair or something. I feel like the lights glow.
Yeah.
We like to see
So
them
do I.
glow. Yeah, not a fan of the straight on.
Should have streamed on my
Try and
phone,
twist
but
it a little.
too late now.
Far away from the camera. I have done that previously, but haven't tried it today. And then you could put the words right here. They don't kind of fit in a square, but it does feel more like
What
a
if I drew-
summer sunbathing pose.
Where's my sketchbook?
And let's go with that one. I'll look at some of the things I've already done. I wish I had just drawn
Ow.
someone standing there with the
I
numbers.
forgot I had a filing cabinet.
One left, real big.
Forgot I had a filing cabinet. What if I drew him?
Two
Oh,
tiny ones again. I think I'll
What if
try
I drew
to make
him
it
again?
on the right side with the words on the left.
what if I drew him again?
Oops.
Sorry, what's this?
Just like pants.
Oh my God, where do I put-
shoulders,
My desk is a mess.
that big vest with the collar. Might take the
Well,
hair.
people
just
always
kinda
do
curl it this
fireworks
way,
too
give it that
early.
hero
Too late,
pose
yeah.
vibe.
Well,
So there we have the character
I live on the
standing
Michigan
there.
border, so I
Not quite
technically
that big of a
do
square.
July
And
3rd,
then big
July
bold
4th,
letters, you can
and
just write
July
this.
1st.
Maybe
That makes
cut it
sense.
in a little better. All right, I feel it. She does such a
What?
like Fortnite character vibe. Let's try
This
and
is too
transfer that
loose.
while it's still fresh in my memory.
It's the only
onto
mask I
this
have
page.
that's
Essentially what
visible.
the
Is the other one.
feet
Ooh,
and
can't see
here.
through that at all.
Going for the hero pose.
That's okay. Thank you.
Hips.
What if I drew him again, though?
Boot. Draw a
Oh,
square for
I
that.
can.
You can go with more of a generic boot.
I have no
It ends
desk
on the
room.
hips. Do I want to try something different?
Mess.
Nice and
I'm just
vest.
gonna drink my water.
Spiky shorts. Socks. That should be
Those are
separated
my
into
core.
3 sections. Those should
You
be
can't
very
tell I love
marshmallowy and puffed. Shoulders. Might take this
Oh.
arm and pull it down like this just so you end up seeing
Stem.
it. Then we can kind of do a
Cut
fist
my
or
wrist.
something with the mitten. I don't want to like cover too much of like where the words are gonna be.
Hair. Ugh. This is what I get for having short hair.
Why I chose to do the spiky shorts because they kind of like poke out of the bubble jacket and make it obvious that it's not one big chunky
Why do I
shape.
either
'Cause you
draw
have,
with
like
what?
the soft roundness of the
Mm.
jacket and then the pokey shorts.
Ugh.
It kind
This
of
is what I
just
get for having short
screams that
hair.
they're not part of the
Ugh.
same fabric, which kind of stops it from looking too frumpy. I'm gonna just put this arm down too. Try it on. You can kind of match.
Thank you, Mayo.
I can put it like this.
I hate how feminine I sound.
You know, that's doable. I kind of like it. Like, you should draw characters with their arms just flop.
Problems.
You know? That's good.
Personal
And then
problems.
we'll iron it out. I would just go in and I'd color it first, but there's some really good lines in here that I don't want to give up. Sometimes the reason I'll do color first is because I'm more interested in like the colors and tones and stuff and getting them in the right place. But with this one, I would much rather.
Oh, I should probably put that back down so you can see. Well, it's showing up. Yay.
Doing the hair up here.
My family does not know I have YouTube. My family does not know I have a YouTube channel. They know I have YouTube. They also don't know that
Anything on the
I
left of this line
am
is inside jacket. Anything on the right side of the line is the outside of the jacket.
fun for me.
Let's do this arm.
Ew, I hate that. Yeah. I can bring the hair over the ear. Why did I put slow mode on? No idea. Mark out the nose. My birthday on my parents used to know about my childhood. That was so different when I was a 10. Oh. Yeah,
Une tache tenace sur nos vêtements
I
est
look
toujours
so
plus
weird.
grande dans notre esprit. Ajoutez Weasel
Yeah.
pour s'attaquer aux trucs. Contrairement
Fun
des
fact, my phone
dérangements,
is also my
les
remote.
activités logent les tâches les plus tenaces.
My phone's also my remote because I don't have a physical remote. I should probably turn that down though. I don't have a physical remote, so fun for me. And that'll work. Oh. Yeah, so if you see me grab my phone, it's probably because I'm changing something on my TV.
Hey, it's me.
Or I'm looking for references, one of the two.
Drawing your own adventure book. It's about this baby. This is a book called Draw Your Own Adventure. It's by Holly Rose, who is a friend of mine. She's a fellow YouTuber, content creator, influencer. I never know what to call people that we are. There's so many names. I prefer content creator. That feels the most neutral. Holly is great. And I know how hard she has worked on this book. It's been a long process for her. I'm excited to finally have it in my hands. I want to support her endeavors and her hard work. And I know
Fireworks
it's
are
probably
seriously
going to be a really fun
gonna bug me.
experience anyway. So benefits for everyone. I've had this book in my possession for quite a while. I pre-ordered it.
Fireworks are gonna bug me.
You can get it on Amazon. And
Yay, this
not
is what I get
on
for
Kindle
filming
anymore.
at 9 o'clock at night.
But,
Or actually,
gosh,
10 o'clock at night. My bad. 10:30.
I kind of wanted to save it for you guys. Wait until you're here so that we can kind of get into it together. But I do know that it is kind of like, well, it says it right here, an activity book with prompts and challenges to jumpstart your creativity. It's adorable. The cover is great. I love this little unhappy toad. Who is he? Can we know about him more? I guess I'm gonna just shut my mouth. Not really. I'm gonna be talking this whole video. It always like baffles me when people click on my videos and then they're like,
You talk too much.
should I not talk? I thought that's what I was here for. I thought I was here to talk. I don't get it. What are the expectations?
I
here? I'm
hate
gonna
drawing
continue to talk, but I'm
noses.
just gonna get into the activity for today while I'm talking. Remember when I
Freaking
tied down this
fireworks.
shirt? This is my favorite of the blue design.
What do I do?
So
What do I do?
let's begin.
I'm talking to a freaking 3D printed frog. I have lost my mind.
This yellow inside cover. So we have an introduction. It's very cute. It's setting up
I'm
kind of
crazy.
the story. I'm assuming that this book
I
is
can't
meant
help
to
it. I'm
encourage
crazy.
us to take a bite-sized approach to art instead of getting overwhelmed
Uh,
by completing it.
I don't like
Now,
drawing
it's
noses.
the first
I
page
have to
where
draw
we're
a
asked to do
nose.
something. You find a small bookstore in a quaint town.
I'll probably stream for like 2 hours before going to bed.
In the middle of the stack,
Because
there's a
technically,
red book.
by 2 hours, it would be
So
midnight.
it's like a fun little story journey, draw your own adventure. I get it, but there is a task for us to do here, which is to kind of decorate these books. I need stuff. I need things. I feel like colored
Ooh,
pencils
5
are
people,
really
hi.
the name of the game when it comes to prompt
Hello.
books. You don't have to worry about colors bleeding through pages and all that. This
I
is
just
where
looked
we'll
up.
say,
Oh,
is
now
there
it's
any
2.
other way to color
Okay.
these books than in rainbow
I
order?
barely have
I
enough
think that's the only way.
energy to
I
stream
really
for the
like
hundred. Oh god. I have energy every second because I have a thing called ADHD. I have energy, but I just don't have the motivation. How about that?
That's fine, right? You can do whatever, right? That's fine. Chloe, back me up. That's okay, right? And then I added like shading into the bookshelf to kind of make it pop. This took way longer than I expected. I was doing this for like an hour. It looks pretty cool, I will say. Although when you look at the details, I'm kind of sloppy. Not the best at coloring in the lines. The whole point of this page, though, is to introduce this kind of like special red book that's in the center. I feel like the color of the bookshelf is very
That
reddish.
makes sense,
So it
okay.
kind of made it blend in a little too much.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna like try to create like a glow around it.
I'm just
Oh,
dark.
I don't know if it's like
Just
really
done.
working. I want this to glow.
I'm sorry, I can't read. 1 second. Mask is going
I'm
on.
gonna use some like watered
Can't
down
read.
white paint. I might
I'm just so
regret this.
lonely.
I can't help
I'm
but
like,
feel like I'm
might as well stream
overcomplicating this a little bit. Like, we're just supposed to
I'll just stay in my room.
right? I can't help it. I just want to look
No
nice.
joke, I never leave my room unless for food.
Glowing, mysterious red book. Cool. Now I have to wait for the page to
It's
dry.
sad.
There's a whole blank
Real,
page
really
next to
sad.
it. What could we do?
At least that nose doesn't look too
What
bad.
shall we do? I feel like I should draw something.
Same.
Draw like a character and books.
The life of an artist. Don't leave your room.
Oh, yeah. He's gonna be great.
Ew, what is that jawline? I just noticed that.
And I just want to make it my own. So I'm gonna draw a little caterpillar. He's gonna have a book and he's gonna be eating it because he's a bookworm and he eats books. Once I have this all drawn, I'm gonna start in with the color. I want him to be.
I don't feel like drawing open eyes.
I kind of want him to go with the rainbow bookshelf, so I kind of want to bring all of the colors into the shading. So I made a little rainbow caterpillar munching on a book, added some little highlights to his eyes, and here it is. Did I way overcomplicate this?
Yes, I did.
Did I spend over 2 hours on the page that could have been done in 15 minutes? Yeah, I did. It makes me happy. I have more fun making things more complicated, but I did want to do more than one page of this. I better move on. Turning the page, finally. Goodness gracious. Oh my gosh.
I guess I'm drawing in a more chibi style than
His name
normal.
is Behrman. Behrman says, I tried to buy another sketchbook without completing the last 4 I had. Relatable. Who has done that before? Please help me complete my sketches so we can both get out of here. That's so cute. Oh, that's so cute. And then we've got a little coloring page here. So
Here's the
we can
sketch.
put in our version
I
of
guess I should
Behrman.
hold it up a little bit.
More just the way he is, but also I kind of want to like make it my own.
We got
This
somewhere.
maybe adds, like, a little mouth.
I don't know how to hold this up properly.
Okay. Maybe I'll
Anyway.
make the eyes slightly larger. Did I just like make him worse? I think so. But at least he's mine. He's worse, but he's mine. What did I do? Fairland, boy, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
I also
I've been really burnt out from art because I may or may not have been drawing every day for the entire year, and that was not a good decision. But 7 months in now.
So I like to pull out blue from my Behrland. I just want to make him look magically blue. And the stars.
I guess I should probably do the line art, which tends to ruin it. What do I do? What pen do I choose? Classic Sharpie? Alright. Sorry, I thought you said something else.
Or am I slow?
Classic Sharpie, how thick is that? Not as thick as I thought. Nah, it's fine. I don't need to erase it at all. You know what? At least drawing in this chibi-ish style, I can get away with thick lines.
For 160 years, Willis College has focused on one thing: students. We don't just teach. We provide real-world skills and experience.
I should not have a rolly chair because I either want to spin or when I'm trying to do something, I freaking move around and I hate it. But this is the only chair I have that fits my desk.
Begin your future today.
I'm hoping that I will have more time at the end of the week and I'll be able to come back to this and maybe I can do another page or two just with voiceover. If that's the case, Yay, let's move into that. Okay, yes. Hi. Fortunately, I did find some time at the end of the week to come back to this. Thank goodness, because stopping at 2 pages in is just an unbelievable crime. It says, Simon Fairland is gone. Oh no, Fairland. Where did you go, Fairland? Why? Okay, moving on. And in his place, a bizarre bouquet of balloons,
Oh,
birds,
God.
and floating
Go with
rockets
the
and
face.
figures. Attached to it is a favorite possession. You know, the first thing you save in a fire if you had to. So the task here is to color the page in and draw your favorite possession.
Procrastination.
Things. So of course my kids would be top priority in a fire, but it doesn't say your favorite people. And my kids would say, what am I going for next? Of course, pickle. I decided to draw pickle as a representative for kind of all of my artwork.
How do I do this face?
Squishies, my hand painted items. My artwork has a lot of sentimental value and I get very attached to it. So I drew pickle and then just started coloring everything in. I have not done a coloring page.
Please
that I
don't look
haven't
ugly.
drawn
Please
myself
don't
in
look
so
ugly.
long. When I'm drawing something myself, typically I'm planning out the colors as I draw. But working on something that is already drawn for me, I'm like, whoa, what am I doing here? I'm lost. And oh yeah, I just colored fire coming out of a fire extinguisher. That's not how that works, sweetie. Anyway, I think that this did actually come out pretty cute. I smudged Pickle's eye and tried to cover it up, and now his eye looks like that. Let's pretend that that's not a thing. A couple days later, I came back to this book again. Ignored the clay on my finger. That's for something else. Flipping to the next page, and we're at the beach. The story continues.
Okay, it's not as ugly as I thought, thank God.
Fly away, and you're left on the ground.
Where is my eraser bin? My bin of erasers. So I can get rid of these extra lines.
Draw a picnic basket on the swing next to the woman. Okay, so I just realized, literally right now, forgot to draw a picnic basket. Chloe, I have disobeyed you. That wasn't intentional. I just completely forgot about that. Anyway, going in for my drawing here.
It's cute. It's cute. And it shows up way better.
Be a tad bit brighter than usual, but it's not completely unnatural.
Yay. But color, because color is very important with him. He has tri-colored hair. Color is very important here. And fun fact, he was actually supposed to be darker skinned, but I don't add colored pencils. Not fun.
Each scene instead of an earthly one. We have seen
Thank you. It's just because I never see tri-colored hair. It's either one color, two colors, or they're bald.
Okay, it's green.
I never see tri-colored hair.
Of course it does.
Do I have to get up to get the pencil crayons? I have to get up to get the pencil crayons.
Oh, I just realized I totally should have drawn the dream bodies, like Hunter, Tom, maybe Mika. Quite a while. It's a large area to completely fill with colored pencil, but I also enjoyed it, and I think this came out really cool looking. This book is so fun. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. Chloe did an excellent job crafting the whole narrative.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Have different activities on each page.
I'm lazy.
Come back to this at some point. That is it. That is
Hi.
all.
Just coloring this. I just drew. Where's the tape? Sorry, I can't read the chat. What does it say? Hi. Hello. Hi. Welcome to my nightmare. Colored pencils. Well, this is obviously what I use for the purple side. Yeah. Prismacolor. Oh, do I use the lighter one? I use the darker one for details? Nah. Yes? No? Choices. I'll leave it for now. Where's my pencil sharpeners? With Yeah, that looks like indigo pink. Like blue. Oh, that was actually easier than I thought.
Hello. Hey, it's
Hmm.
a couple months ago I did a video.
Why did I
like
not
this.
put
It
the
was
purple
kind of just
in
like a
between the
one
pink and the
and
blue? That
done
would have made
kind of
more
thing,
sense.
but
Too late now. This is his
I wanna do it
character
again. So
design,
what
but
I'm gonna be doing in this video is taking my
questionable
very old
decisions.
childhood artwork or teenagehood and fixing it. I am going to just redo it in my current skill set, even though I'm not like the best at drawing still. Last time I had a lot of fun with this, and I don't know, I think you guys liked it. Some of you did. Plus, I found some drawings
Leave a little
that
bit of
I'm
lighter
really
purple to
excited
blend,
to redo.
hopefully.
Oh, they're so good. I can't wait to show you them. So
Okay,
let's
yeah,
just
you can
dig
see what
into
I'm
it.
doing.
All right, so here is the pile of artwork. I believe most of these are from around 2007, which would make me about 12 years old when I drew them. So
This is
yes,
gonna take
I am
forever,
26
isn't it?
now. I have fully matured.
I got it in
And
his
oh,
ear.
boy, isn't this a
Dang
great
it.
place to start? No. This would be an octopus with scraggly legs who's brushing his very small tuft of hair, and he doesn't look too happy.
Regretting
about
my
it.
decisions.
Next, we have another annoyed animal who
But
says,
I'd
"Oh,
rather use
please."
pencil crayon
He
over
seems to be very
water-based markers
unimpressed by
because
this birthday cake. I have
streaks
this
are not fun
happy,
either.
happy cupcake. The unevenly chopped line paper really screams
Rat.
quality. It's a style, it's a look. Then we've got this little girl riding a pony, also saying, "Oh please." The heck? What was my deal with making animals say, "Oh please"?
Wonder what my
I don't
cat's
get
doing.
it. Then there's this one.
Oh,
It
my
looks
hand's
like
already
some
cramping.
Sort of awkward
Colored
spin-off
pencil
of Mr.
thing.
Peanut. It hasn't been colored. I still recognize what that is in the background. This is a burglar breaking through a window. Why? What? Why? I don't know. Now this one, it's a little boy wearing a hat with
I wonder
balloons
if I could
attached
put
to
this
it.
in my
We've got this very
background.
stiff-looking skateboarder kid. Outline
Good.
around his eyes is a little on the thick side. You could tone down the eyeliner just a little bit. Oh, and can't forget about this random floating ice
Oh, I
cream
could
cone up
change my
here.
profile
That's
to
important. Who
him
should we
too,
pick
'cause he's more
first?
prominent
It's the
than my
balloon boy.
current
Let's
one.
go. Obvious statement. This is not good.
I'm
But
talking to
there
myself
is
again.
something about it that I kind of like. Maybe it's the balloon hat, or maybe
Welcome,
something
welcome.
about that face.
If
But there
you're
is
just joining or
plenty
just
to be
scrolling by.
improved upon. Those
I'm
direct feet, the
just-
wiggly arms, those shriveled little fingers. Oh gosh, good call hiding the other hand.
Fireworks.
We really didn't need
I
to
swear
see
to God
two of those. And wait, what is that?
Too early for
Is
4th of
that an
July,
attempt
too
at
late for
shading?
Canada Day
Oh,
fireworks.
friend. So I'm getting out my current sketchbook, flipping to the first blank page of that. Okay, let's start with the drawing. Now I am going to change his pose slightly to use the space of the page a little bit better. So I'm having him sit down. That way we have plenty of room to show his balloon
See if this
hat.
will
You may
blend
think
nicely.
looking at the
Ooh.
lined paper and the
That's
use
why I
of
love
thick
Prismas.
pencils
They
and
blend
ballpoint pens, that
flawlessly.
these were my kind of throwaway drawings that I didn't care about. But no. These were pretty much the cream of the crop. Okay, these were my favorite pieces. This was me trying. This may be worse art skills than the average 12-year-old. I don't know. But then again, age really doesn't have much to do with how much skill you have. I just didn't really care all that much about how skilled I was. I just did a few little
I
drawings.
could draw
every
for like
once in a
6
while.
hours straight without
Yeah,
wrist
that's
cramps.
just
Why do
one
colored
thing.
pencils make my
Big
wrist
open
hurt?
mouth smile, which has been tricky for me to draw in the past. But
Oh.
push yourself. I'm gonna
Chromebook
try to draw an
keeps-
open mouth smile. I'm just really hoping that it doesn't look like a
I
hideous
should've
monster. I'm
streamed on my
also going
phone
to change
instead.
the style of the hat he's wearing. I'm gonna give him a little straw farmer's hat, which I think makes more
Minor
sense
regrets.
with the overalls. Speaking of overalls, I have been noticing that a lot of people are wearing overalls again. And so I was thinking, I want to try. So I ordered a pair. I tried them on, and I wanted to throw up. I think I discovered I'm not the type of person that can pull off overalls. Anyway, this is the point
I
where
need to
12-year-old
sharpen it.
said,
That's done.
I just dropped it.
but of course, I'm not going to do that now. What the heck? So here I go with the
You did
outlining.
not.
I don't really know what the story is, why this kid has balloons
I hate
attached
this
to
colored
his hat.
pencil.
I would
I'm
say
so
that
close to
maybe I
filling
was
in the
inspired
pink
by the
lines.
movie Up,
but this was drawn before that movie came out, so it wasn't that. I guess this was just kind of a random idea out of the blue, out of the balloon. No, which is probably the
Whatever.
case for most of these drawings. I am gonna create a little setting for him as well. I had the habit of just making drawings kind of floating in the abyss of lime paper, but obviously doing some
Trying to
sort of
watch the
background
chat
adds a whole lot. Okay,
while doing
now I'm
this.
ready to use my
Not really
extremely cheap
easy.
and very unprofessional watercolors. You know what? I'll add my slightly more acceptable watercolor set in there as well. Is that okay? Notice
Whatever,
that my
whatever,
old drawings that I showed you today
I just
had
gotta
any
get
color
the
to
blue.
them at all. Because I really liked these drawings in particular, I
Probably.
didn't want to ruin them with color. You heard me correctly. Ruin them with color. Clearly, I wasn't that confident with my coloring skills,
Oh my
and
God.
I had a couple experiences where I colored in a drawing that I liked, and somehow it became worse. So I would just sometimes leave drawings that I liked, which is so weird to me now because coloring is the best part. Why
We're
even
so
do
close to
drawings
filling
without
in the
color?
hair.
I went for blue, red, purple,
So
and yellow
close,
for
but
his
so
outfit,
far.
and then I used the balloons to kind of repeat those colors. He is a very conscientious young man because he clearly took the time to match his balloons to his outfit, and not everyone does that. I also thought it would be kind of cool to drag those colors lightly through the sky as well to create a whole scene where all the colors are tied together. It's all very realistic and matchy. Usually people say that as a negative thing, but I actually kind of like it. Now I'm bringing in my colored pencils, which always look very ugly from this angle, and I'm going to use these to bring in the shadows and
That's
details. Since
Hold
I'm
on,
not
I
skilled
missed
enough
the shot a little
with
bit more.
watercolor, I always need my pencils to save me. I'm coloring
Okay.
in his mouth, which is scary. Scary because I
Hi.
don't want it to look scary. Please don't look scary. You know what? It's okay. I'm not too scared. I'm fine. It's kind of cute. I like it. And this is the fun part. This is the part where I just feel on top of the world. I really like the detail work and the finishing touches and watching everything really come together at the end. You know, unless it's not going well, then the end is just kind of depressing and sad. But I'd say that this is going decently. You know, I couldn't have expected much more from my current skill level. I'm not
That's
super
the hair.
proud of the hands and the feet.
Yay.
I feel like I could have put a little
The
bit more time
hair.
into those and made them a little better, but I've done
It's
what
the
I've
hair
done.
done.
I did enjoy the balloons and
Yay.
trying to make them look transparent. That was very entertaining for me. And here
Now
is
the dreadful
final result.
part.
You
Skin
barely even
tones.
notice the old drawing. It just kind of like fades away. From my artwork of
No,
2007
no.
to the current version, I think is definitely an improvement. Even though, yeah, it's still not perfect. I am always hesitant to talk about how much I love
That'll
my
work.
drawings. I know they're not the best. They don't have
Mask.
to be the best for me to love them. I
Hold on.
love them. And it made me
Just to
really
read the
happy
chat.
to draw it. I had fun.
It's
Okay.
beautiful. Thank you, Mayo. Thank you.
I used to struggle with hand jobs. Now I just head and shoulders every wash. Because the active ingredient in head and shoulders stops plates where they start, leaving your scalp healthy and flake free. From the #1 anti-dandruff shampoo in Canada, Head and Shoulders.
That's where it started as just a little pod, and today we've got a factory, about 115 employees, not more than that now. Shopify gives people an agency to do something, like starting a business, selling stuff online, Shopify, and it's fun.
Welcome to the party shop at Michael's. We're your one-stop for cookies and needs to celebrate. Find balloons, decor, tableware, and so much more to create their dream party. Shop in-store or online today.
Let's take a break from that because this video is sponsored by Honey. If by some miracle, more like tragedy, you don't know what Honey is the free browser extension that scours the internet for promo codes and automatically tests them while checking out during your online shopping. It's basically like a very helpful friend that pops up and is just like, hey, buddy, I'm not going to spend that much. I've got a coupon for you right here. It's very touching. So if you would like to be touched, not physically, I mean in your heart,
you can get Honey on your computer for free in just 2 easy clicks. So while you're checking out on one of the 30,000 supported sites, all you have to do is click Apply Coupons, wait a few seconds while Honey searches for the coupons, and if Honey does find a working code, you sit back and watch the price go down. It has saved me so much on my endless stream of feed purchases. There's no catch. Honey is completely free, works on any browser, and should be on your computer. Get Honey for free by going to joinhoney.com/Mariah. That's joinhoney.com/Mariah, so they know that I sent you. Thank you to Honey for sponsoring this video. So let's go on to the next drawing, and this time I'm going to select the pig. Here we go. Now I'm not sure if my young brain fully understood that I had just ripped off Mr. Peanut.
Hello,
Looking at it
hi.
now, I cannot help but notice
I just saw the
similarities.
chat.
Oh, his face.
Eye
His face
emoji.
is not the best. What I mean is it's
And
ugly. Background is
Skin tone's not
clearly
the
intended to be a
best.
rainbow. Of course, without colors,
maybe even it out.
poorly drawn curved lines. But don't worry, we will fix that. I got this one. For this one, I'm bringing in my iPad because I thought it might be fun to do one of these
Hello.
drawings digitally since I've been into that recently. If you're not a fan of the digital art thing, just chill. I'll do the last one back to traditional, but I just wanted to do one like this. It's fun. You're having fun right now. Now this one I am changing a lot. The only thing I'm really keeping is that it's a pig and that there's, of course, a rainbow in the background. I made the pig sit. I guess that's what I do in this video. I just take my old standing characters and make them sit down. And this is also a young pig. It's more of a piglet. And oh yeah, she also has butterfly wings. I don't know. Since my original pig was just dripping with accessories, I'm gonna give her some little accessories of her own. I have to say, I am very new to digital drawing. I am kind of dragging you guys along with me as I learn this. But here's the outline. It's kind of cute. Now with the coloring phase of digital art, I feel like there's
Maybe I
always
should
this
make
really
his shirt
scary
green
place
because
where
his
it
eye
looks
color is
like
green.
it's straight out of Microsoft
I
Paint.
just don't
It's
draw him with his
just so
eyes open very
cheesy
often.
and tacky looking. Oh, it's bad. But as I continue to
Oh,
add
that's like
shading,
exactly
it
his
does
eye
seem
color.
to improve it and get a little bit better. Oh, Opie's here. I want you to stop. Stop. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out how to do this and what my style is with this whole digital thing, so bear with me, or pig with me. Is that a joke? I am not a huge fan of how I drew the snout. For me, that is the worst part of the drawing, and unfortunately, I never really did anything to fix it.
This
Also,
pencil
now that I'm
crayon.
looking at it, the eyes are weird
Something written
too. You know, just the whole face region. I'm not really feeling it. If I ever get the motivation to, I'll probably go back and rework the face one of these days. At this
Bye,
point, I
Mayo.
was more interested in drawing in the rainbow in the background because that was clearly higher priority in my mind. at
Thanks
the
for
time.
stopping
I was
in.
really looking forward to adding that in so that I
I'll
could
just
make the
be
wings
here
transparent
for
so
the
that
next
you could see
couple
the
hours.
rainbow through the wings. I don't know why, but I was like obsessed with that idea, and that's what I was focusing on this whole time. And then at this point, I did notice the face. It's a little wrong. Clearly, a giant rainbow across the forehead makes everything. What? You know how sometimes when you've been looking at something for a long time, you kind of become blind to what it actually
There's
looks
the
like?
finished one.
That's what was happening here after taking a step back.
I might actually cut him out to
I feel like it's
put on my
glaringly
wall
obvious,
for my
like I could go in
background.
there and easily fix it. Anyway,
Anyways,
finishing that up,
set that
here
aside
is
for
the
now.
final drawing. This is
Grab a
an
new
improvement.
piece of
I think
paper.
just about anything would be.
I don't feel
There
like
are
drawing
parts
this
of it that I
book
really like,
tonight.
parts of it that I think need work. I
Oh,
like that I
geez,
took it from
cute.
the awkward
Thank
Mr.
you.
Peanut
It
moniker
is.
to one of my
Oh, I
first
need to tilt the camera up a little bit.
styles. I liked it much
It is
more in the
this
moment
guy.
than I do now. But it's
His name is
okay.
Ethan.
It's not
He's my
terrible.
persona.
So for the very last
I
one,
let him.
I'm going to choose
Could probably change my
the mini
profile picture
cat.
to that
This kind of looks like something I would do now.
later.
I feel like this was the OG
Not-
Shelley
not a
that
tonight
we
thing.
didn't even know existed. It's
Hmm.
obviously not a
Pinterest,
fantastic
save
drawing or
me.
anything, but although it is weird that I drew the
Confused.
tail the exact same way that I drew the tentacles on the octopus. Either the octopus has 8 tails or the cat has a single tentacle. Your choice. So let's get back
Cameron?
to the good old sketchbook to the next blank page. This one is interesting because the original drawing is so small. And I'm
Cameron, is
drawing
it
it
you?
so much bigger in the new version. And
It's
since
the-
I had so much more space to work
Oh,
with,
I
I
can't
decided, to add
Hi.
little things to it. I added a birthday hat that someone
Why are
really
you up?
tied crookedly around her
Hi.
head, adding to the irritation. And I also added quite a few details to the cake to make it a little bit more interesting. Once I was
Welcome.
finished with the sketch, I went back
Chocolate milk.
and
I forgot I had
licked
chocolate
all
milk.
of my pencil lines, and I'm going to try a new
Forgot I had that.
supply today. The box says expert, so that must mean they're good,
Yeah,
right? I
because-
bought these watercolor pencils on a whim. It was a Black Friday sale. Since I've been really into using
I'm
this
up
combination
because
of watercolor
ADHD.
and colored pencils for my drawings anyway, this is perfect. I'm pretty much using these as normal colored pencils, except leaving a lot of really light areas and not too focused on making everything super evenly colored. I did notice this pencil in particular kept leaving these
Rude.
unbelievable
Don't eat my art.
streaks. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason these were so highly discounted.
Maybe instead of
That's fine.
this,
We're
I
gonna
can work on
with
that
it
work in
because we want
progress.
Anyway, I have very minimal experience with watercolor
could,
pencils.
but
I
I don't
believe
wanna.
I used them
I could.
once, like 5 years ago, maybe twice, but
No,
by
no.
no means an expert.
Shut
I
up.
guess I should.
Alright, I might
use it
just-
The concept, I think, is pretty simple. You just use them like regular pencils, and then you can go over them with water, and then the
I'm scared.
pigment kind of melts and kind of gives you a watercolor effect. I'm not doing any outlining with this drawing, so the shading is quite important.
I am not trusting the
because I
process
still
on
want
this.
nice, clean edges. I like the look of that, so I took a
Your
lot of
art's
time
cool,
working on
thank you.
that and making sure that the edges were nice and
Thank
neat.
you.
I went brown for the cat's fur, and I was just kind of like willy-nilly coloring it in, because I was like, when I add the
I
water,
am not
it's
trusting
just
the
gonna,
process
like,
on
blend it out.
this.
It's just gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be
I
like
have no
so perfect.
choice.
Yeah, well, that was a big fat assumption. This is where things
Hold
got
on.
real
Oh.
annoying. This freaking pencil. Oh, it makes me angry just looking at it. The lead was just
And the
crumbling
front
like
profile
crazy.
isn't as bad as I
sharpen
thought.
it, try to use it, and it crumbles. Sharpen it again, try again.
Even got the
crumble.
little
Crack,
thing.
sharpen again, crumble.
Human eyes.
Before you
I haven't
buy
painted
my
it yet,
pencil
it's just
sharpener,
these
no,
things from the
there's a
dollar
huge
store.
possibility that my $3 pencil sharpener was the problem here.
And just
Perfect.
clay.
Eventually, I
I still have to add
sharpened the pencil far enough
horns.
down where it got through the
So much-
bone, and
so
it
much to
started
do.
working somewhat. But yeah, that wasn't the last time that this happened. These pencils did have that issue over and over and over the whole time. Now that I've got a layer of pencil
I'm
down
giving
over the entire drawing,
It's
You can't give up now. I've used all my masking
just
tape.
dip and then blip, blip, bloop, dip, blip. Pencil and turn it into watercolor. Now this did
I'm
work.
talking.
It didn't
The
work
freaking dragon
exactly the
puppet.
way I thought it would.
I'm freaking
No,
talking with
it
this.
was quite splashy in many areas and more difficult to control than I expected. At times it felt completely out of control, but when I'm trying
Let me just work on this. Where's my
myself
reference?
versus the product, because clearly I'm inexperienced.
Pinterest
with this.
notification.
So it
I'm
could be me,
distracted.
or it could be the product that's the problem. Me or the product. Me or the product. Me or the
Alright.
product. Me or the product. I don't know.
Dang it, I
Remains
don't
a
have
mystery. I know
bells
that's very
for the
helpful for you.
horns.
I never claimed
It's like
this
a
to be a
jester hat
tutorial,
thing.
Okay, I'm
Dang it.
just doing stuff, and you're just here to watch. I am not an educator, so now I'm gonna go over that. with
Yeah,
regular
yeah.
colored
Don't you
pencils,
dare
which
pull that
makes me
camera
wonder,
in.
would it have been faster to just use regular watercolor and then?
I guess I gotta plug my hot glue gun in.
I ended up having to color the whole drawing, then paint it with the water, and then color it again. Finally, with this last layer of color pencil, my drawing is starting to look a little closer to what I was hoping for. I'm adding these juicy white highlights that make all the little shiny tops, and just finishing up
I need
some last
cardboard.
details. I decided to add Funfetti to the cake and some sprinkles. Ooh, sprinkles!
Cardboard.
Of course, we have
Where's
to
my
add
scissors?
the one and only thing that this cat
They
has
hot
to
glue
say, and apparently this pony too. Add my signature and the date. So yes,
Pew.
bye bye.
Pew, pew,
I
pew.
was trying to try it, not looking at it. And here we have it. The original and the new and improved version. Hopefully, and I have quite a few mishaps
This
along the
into
way,
my
but
lap.
ultimately, I am actually really satisfied with this drawing. And I think it emphasizes the attitude, although she does look a little bit more sad in the new version. In her eyes, there's a hint of melancholy. But I think with the birthday hat and the giant bow, like crocheted, I think think it looks even
I still
more
have
like
to-
somebody
I can do
is
the
forced
teeth.
this birthday
Like
celebration
the teeth out of
on her,
cardboard.
and she's just not
How much
having it. It's
room
weird
do I have
because
for
I didn't
teeth?
enjoy this drawing all that much with all the little annoying things that I had to deal with, but I really like the
Ow.
end, so it makes up for it.
Hurt
The
myself.
digital drawing I had a ton of fun with, but the end I'm not so happy with, so I guess they balance each other out. So that's all I have time for this week. I hope you enjoyed watching me redo some of my old drawings. This was overall really fun to do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!
That is. I'm just gonna listen to music and then scroll. So have a nice one. All right. See ya. Bye bye. Oh, bye bye. I'm gonna be working on this.
Start banking with RBC and get the new iPad. Your idea of creative budgeting happens here.
Bye.
Hey, it's me. And today I am resuming one of my long lost series. When's the last time I did a video like this? When's the last time? Sorry. So the last time I did this was February 2021. I'm doing the third video in the Fixing My Old Artwork series. I just was in the mood for doing some drawing, and I remembered the series. I'm like, oh, that series, let me do it again. I'm a brilliant storyteller, you know? That's just something about me. You get used to it. Brilliant. Can you have that candle burning? It's like, I think I mentioned in the past that I only have artwork from like 10 up. I don't have any of like my really little kid artwork because my mom still has all of my really young artwork. She has the ownership and rights to that. But I have a friend to bring in. Don't get excited. It's not a real friend. Let me get it. This. Whoa! She has had this forever. All these memory boxes from
Hello.
preschool, kindergarten,
Just working on the
first
dragon
grade,
puppet right now.
1994 to 98. So that's like babyhood. People like to act like they're detectives when they figure out my age. But I'm 27, so let's not act like we're detectives. We all know I'm 27. Let's look at the babyhood stuff. I gotta see this. Oh boy.
Hello.
I can't even tell what that is.
That tooth is already falling
Maybe,
off.
do we have anything that makes sense? Mariah's pre-K orientation. I drew a rainbow. What are these colors? Oh my gosh. That's me at Chuck E. Cheese. Looking like I'm just having a blast. Oh, the battery's dead. Of course it is. Ah, excuse me. Stupid. Okay. Oh, look at this. I drew a banana. This is kind of beautiful in a way, but also we don't need to reinvent masterpieces. Scribbles are not going to be that helpful. We're going to go back in. Let's check some art from, this one.
Hello, hello.
Here we go.
We're working on this.
The jungle rainbow.
I know,
That's
it's.
funky. It's not bad.
I'm not trusting the process either.
It's an option. Oh, there's this one. It's a flower, rainbow, it's a sun. Maybe I could spruce it up a little bit, make something of it. What is this one? A sun, a rainbow, trees. What is this animal? Could be a horse. Not so much into that one. Okay. A sun, a rainbow, and flowers. A sun, a rainbow, flowers.
What if I made the
Dude,
teeth out of
you drew
clay
the
instead
same
of cardboard?
stuff over and over again.
I already used a lot of clay on this
What about
forehead.
this stuff? It's a man with a yellow necklace. I don't want to draw that.
That's very correct, which is what I want.
It appears to be a hedgehog. It's got this funky pattern, border. Is there potential here? God, this is terrible.
Just
I'm finally
doing random
things
art,
here
and currently
but
it is
kind of looks like she's in
this.
some sort of
Earlier,
chamber.
if you would like, I drew my
Would be
character.
easier to recreate than like my teen or preteen art.
So,
Actually,
really
this
just
is way
doing
harder.
whatever.
This is my best option, the hedgehog. I'm gonna put my heart and soul into the recreation drawing for this. So let's get into that. All right, and
Just
here's
hydration.
our lovely victim. Actually, looking
at this artwork. I think I'm the real deal here. Shall we? Art critique mode. Here we go.
Crayola
Our
air dry
main
clay.
is this beautiful hedgehog.
$10.
This one with very
It was
small
worth
eye
it.
and very
And I
round
still have a
feet.
ton.
Those are his wheels. This hedgehog exists in a very boxy sunset background. Is this a sunset? Kind of, I think. I'm noticing some smudgy little fingerprints. Maybe we have to, what in the world are those? One thing I can say about them
Where
is that they
is
exist,
my
and all of this captured
water?
in a lovely frame
Clay
of
water.
red blobs.
Yeah,
No,
can
wait,
use this. Doesn't matter.
looks to be a stamp of some sort. I had a mitten stamp. How can I possibly top this mastery of form and color?
Hello.
Let me try. Bringing out my sketchbook and let's flip to the next available page. There are quite a few of them. I'm going to be 200 before I finish the sketchbook. Now the thing is, I'm going to modify this drawing quite a bit, clearly, because there are things in here that I'm not even able to identify. So I definitely have to do quite a lot of reinterpreting. So I likely sketched out a baby hedgehog. Baby me drew an adult hedgehog, and adult me drew a baby hedgehog. And this baby hedgehog is in a basket, which may seem very drastically different from the original, and it kind of is, but I can explain, okay? Once the sketch is well in hand, it's time to start considering the color scheme. So I'm trying to match these colors, and it's really starting to dawn on me that this color scheme is just absolutely hideous. The most hideous of the hideousness. I truly hate these colors, but I've got to keep the same color scheme. You know, it's probably necessary for preserving the essence of this masterpiece, but I'm going to forget about it for now and focus on the outline. I don't particularly enjoy the process of outlining. I have a really hazardous tendency to rush through it and just try to get it over with, but I really wanted this to be good. Okay, I'm going to be vulnerable for a second. I really wanted this to be good. Truly, I did. So I really did take my time, trying to be neat, trying to be precise. However, despite my caution, I managed to make a critical mistake. Somehow, I forgot to draw the ears completely. Like zero. No ears. This is what I get. Okay, this is payback for all the ears that I have removed. Now they haunt me. I don't know how I did this, okay? Even 7-year-old me did not make this mistake. By the time I realized, I'd already drawn a whole bunch of texture in that area, so I kind of had to squeeze it in there. Excuse me, can we just make room for an ear right here? It's not the best. Ear clearly was an afterthought, but still, it is an ear.
Hi.
Let's celebrate that. I do
We're just
want to take
working
a
on
quick break to
Dragon
show you my
Puppet
mini
right now.
plushie series. These are
working on the
of my
teeth.
favorite characters in Carnival
Nope.
theme. They are
And you're
available
gone.
on my website in sets of 3 and 4, so you can choose your favorite set, or hey, go all out and collect all of them. Just wanted to let you guys know. Let's go back to art. Now the outline is done. I'm pretty happy with it, minus the afterthought and the wonky curvature of the basket. I'm gonna try to fix that later. For now, I'm bringing it into Procreate because I'm still trying to wrap my head around this color scheme. I thought it may be a little easier to experiment digitally because I'm struggling to see this grouping of colors as anything other than hideous. But I'm sure they don't have to be hideous, right? Like there must be some way to make these same colors look nice together, right? Of course, right? I can do that, right? No, this is absolutely hideous. Despite my testing phase being horrifying, I'm going to proceed and just hope for the best. Starting with my watercolors, and I'm going to start by trying to recreate the sunset nonsense. I definitely noticed that the paper quality in the sketchbook is subpar, especially after getting spoiled using that rich paper recently on my coloring book page. The paper is definitely getting a little bit chewed up and blending is not being very cute, but I'm trying to just deal with it. I went traditional for the hedgehog colors. I don't think injecting any funky colors here is a good idea considering the situation. For the blanket, I went with this nice emerald green. There's not going to be as much visible green grass like the original, so I decided to make the blanket serve as the big green element. And then the boxing gloves, mittens. I decided to try to be clever, and instead of having random mittens, I just put the mittens on the hedgehog. However, I did not consider how much red mittens would look like boxing gloves. She's gonna tear you up. Since I originally thought that the mittens were just red blobs, I decided to give the hedgehog a big bow with a red blob pattern that looks a lot like that blue frame. And this is where the watercolor left me. We've got some work to do. Well, me does. Okay, let me try to fix this. And I'm just gonna go to town, filling in the bolder color, adding the shading, giving it more depth. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that little me, not to be confused with Vinny, that's my daughter. Since I don't share her real name
We're
on
just
the
working on
internet,
this
I
bit.
wanted to give her a nickname, and the winner,
I'm
based
sculpting
on the comment section of my
teeth.
last Q&A,
Here it
is
is.
Mini Me, and that
Sculpting
is now
teeth.
officially what we will call her. Back to my original story. I'm surprised that my child
I'm not
self
trusting
chose
this
to draw a
process.
hedgehog. Hedgehogs are
We just
really
gotta
more
see it out.
trendy and cool now. Everyone loves them now, but I don't remember anyone really caring about them back when I was a kid. They were just kind of like less relevant, sort of melted version of a porcupine. Okay. I don't know. Once I filled in the eyes, I noticed how sharp they look. I do try to soften it a little bit later, but for now, I'm just going to allow myself to be stared at by her. I'm being pierced. It may not seem like it, but I spent hours shading this. I'm trying to create something completely out of my imagination, but I'm also at the same time trying to make it look somewhat real, and that is hard. This basket was the bane of my existence. Normally, I would not sign up for drawing something this intricate and repetitive. I see something like this, I'm like just immediately, no, not gonna do it. But she needed a little basket, which, oh, by the way, almost forgot to mention, the basket I brought in to replace these, whatever the hex. They kind of look like some sort of vessel, so I thought, basket. And I can use the same colors on the basket, and yes, that'll be swell. So each element of the original drawing, it's all here, okay? It's just either moved or repurposed. Getting to this point, I'm not digging the sunset. I almost like the original better. So I'm going over that again and seeing if I can polish it up a little bit. I basically just made it a whole lot brighter, which may or may not have helped. Finally, this is the point where I worked on softening that face a little bit, looking a little more babyish. I also added some white stars and glitter.
14th down,
when
probably
in
like
doubt,
500
stars
more to
and
go.
glitter. Here is the final result.
I still have to do a
this
tongue.
This is about
and
a 20-year
horns.
difference right here. Does it look
And
like
then
20
thicken
years
this
of improvement? I don't know. Honestly, possibly not. It's definitely not perfect. I see all kinds of flaws that are currently bugging me. Wonky basket, boxing gloves, and why do I feel like she needs eyebrows? Given the circumstances and my current skill level,
We'll just
I
go
think
with
this is
it.
decent. I can't say I'm absolutely
ASMR.
1000% satisfied,
Anyway.
but I'll give myself a good clap. Okay, good effort. Thank you.
Where'd
Regardless
my
of
clay
how
go? There it
good
is.
the art is, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Part of this clay is so dried out. With that water in it.
When they say yes, when others say no.
This right here is my big purple box of old and slightly ancient sketchbooks. One of the books inside of this box will be a little bit more special than the others. It happens to be the very first sketchbook that I ever filled in my entire life, ever. Yeah, it holds that title. For $2.99, not only did I get 35 blank pages to draw on, but I began a journey. That sounds way deeper than it was.
But I decided to celebrate that said journey by redrawing every single page in my first sketchbook. So the video is going to be really long. I'm going to take this opportunity to jump right into it. The journey to redraw the journey began with me finding a sketchbook. I had this one laying around that had a spiral bound, and I realized if I like turn it on its side, it kind of resembled a similar shape. The main problem being it was kind of ugly. No offense to sunflowers, I love them, but I like my old sketchbook better. So I actually took scissors and scratched the crap out of the cover. That way the acrylic paint would actually have something to latch on. The Ohu's sketchbook's a little smooth, and I was worried it would like chip off. So I got out some paints. I mixed up the little paints. I made a color that looked very similar to the original sketchbook. And then I kind of just painted a circle on it. I also used some darker paint and created a shadow around the circle so that it kind of looks like the sketchbook is like popping out. Well, the circle is popping out from the sketchbook. So that's what I did. And then I used like some multi-liners and some paint for like the little logo. What I found worked best was actually a Copic marker in like a dark sepia color. And I was able to create a decently opaque brown line. And then I wrote sketchbook, and yeah, there it is. Well, I prolonged the inevitable. I don't know. I was having fun with this. Let me be. All right, let's do the first page. Whenever I create a new sketchbook nowadays, I like to create a welcome page, and it just kind of feels barbaric not to. I said it. So instead of drawing these 3 eyes right now, I put that off and I created a little welcome page with me, a little speech bubble, explaining what's going on. And my dog's there too. I did this in a very like chibi simple style, just for me. So I just did whatever I felt like doing at the time. And this is what it turned out like. All right, now we'll go into the first page. Funny story, when I started this sketchbook, I distinctly remember that I just got it in my mind out of nowhere that I decided I was going to be an artist. And I thought the first step to becoming an artist was having a sketchbook. So that was the kind of order of operations that things went down. Then once I had the sketchbook, I was like, how do I draw? So I actually went on YouTube and found like an eye tutorial. So I believe this top left eye was from an eye tutorial, like how to draw an eye. I'm not following that this go around. I figured I'm just gonna like recreate what I see. It would probably be cool to like redo the tutorial with a new, I don't know, fresh wrists, fresh eyes, fresh line vocabulary. But I chose to just recreate the eye, and no regrets. I think it turned out amazing. I also drew the other 3 eyes. I do have to say I had a little bit of trouble looking at the original art, trying to figure out whether it was a left or a right eye. So I just used an educated guess and went for it. Since I am the only person in existence who would know the answer, no one can prove me wrong. Something I remember doing at the time too was like smudging the graphite with my finger, so I was sure to do that as well. This final eye did look a little wrinklier to me, so I really emphasized that fact, just to make it different from the rest. It's unique. I think that's something going forward I probably need to practice. Wrinkles. Yeah, great first page. Really happy with this. I think they all look like eyeballs. I'm really happy with like the three-dimensionality of all of them.
It's weird.
I want to draw more eyeballs, so think past me. Major success. Okay, to the next page. To be completely honest with you, I don't like this page. I didn't like redrawing this page. There's better pages in this sketchbook that I enjoyed redrawing. Hey, but I did it. It's not like I cheated. And let me just say, cringing about what your past self drew has nothing on cringing on what your past self drew while redrawing what your past self drew. It's an experience. Next page. Okay, so this one was one I was looking forward to. When I think of this sketchbook, this sketch specifically comes to mind. I remember I learned to draw eyes. I practiced the nose. I practiced the mouth. I was like, let's put it all together. Let's make a face. And this is that face. If I was going to title it, it'd probably be Girl with Wonky Bangs Looks Down Slightly to the Left. I mean, it's her right, but it's the left. Something really interesting that kind of developed over time as I recreated my first sketchbook was just the way that I redrew the sketches. Originally, I started by trying to just recreate it as I saw it. So like you'll remember like in the eye one, I put the eyes exactly where they were in that page, and then with the mouth and the foot, they're like laid out exactly the same. And even with this one, I wasn't sure how far I was willing to like push it to be different. I hadn't like come to that conclusion in my mind, but you'll notice in the later ones, I start getting a little bit more, I don't know, experimental, changing it up a lot, I guess. And that's when I started having like the most fun, because it was like doing a collab with myself instead of trying to copy paste. yeah, here is the finished version of this sketch. I'm pretty happy with it. The eyes are a little wonky, but I still have like 30 sketches to do. So let's move on to the next page. This guy. All right, so this is like a doorstop we had growing up. It's like a little wiener dog. I don't know. Anyway, it's very intricate. It had the sculpted fur on it.
Hello.
And I was like, well, artists draw from life. So this was my first
Yes.
attempt at that. So
Sculpting
I remember sitting
little-
on the ground by the front door,
sculpting little
sketching
teeth
out this
for my
doorstop.
puppet
Funny part
here.
is, I don't think
I just
that's
gotta
what his
wait
legs
for
look
these
like.
to
That's clearly what I saw. Anyway, this time going at it, I
harden.
kind of broke it down into
That's
simpler
not the
shapes,
right
like
word.
how I draw
Cure.
everything.
Wait for
And
them
I
to
just
cure.
kind of worked my way from super sketchy light stuff to darkening it over time. I was very tempted to like go and try to find the doorstop, but I have not seen it. So unfortunately, I had to just go from memory, and there we have it. Let's go to the next one. After the last one, I
gotta wait
decided
for
to
these
take a
little
break. And
teeth
so this
to
is now the
cure,
next day.
and
You
then I
tell
can
by
glue 'em
the
in.
clothes. So this page is
Two.
two hands. Notice that they're
Yay.
both left hands, and I am quite obviously
I have so much work left on this puppet. It is not.
And realize that these are my hands. I was originally going to like try and recreate the pose with my left hand and then redraw it, but I could not. For the life of me,
For
figure out
now,
how
I
to
think I'll
use
stop
my
with the
hand to
teeth
see that shape,
and try to
because
work
no matter how I
on
did it, I
the
always could see
horns.
something very different.
So
I
I
thought I would
put it
just
with
try
the
and
teeth for now
recreate
so they
the
don't get
illustration
smushed.
as I saw it instead. So there's the
Put them
like
there.
dainty points
Doesn't
and
matter.
then the like go web go pose. This was like my beginning attempts at like experimenting to make the sketchbook pages different. I thought I could like cut out a sticky note so it had a like square behind the sketch. It didn't work. But again, it was part of the journey to get where we get. So let's go get there because it's more interesting. All right, so this one is probably the first drawing I ever made from my imagination, like a full-on character. So she's like a fairy girl with like
Pull up
peasant outfit.
my
You can see
image.
those eyes from the eye tutorial, the nose from like, I don't know, not a nose tutorial, but tackling it the same way I learned to draw eyes, I guess. Anyway,
What if
I thought the
I
best way to go about
made the
this
triangle
would
of the
be to draw it
horns
the way I feel like I would have
and then
wanted
built it
to
up with
if I was
cardboard
able to at the time. Are you talking about your
and then
pets?
smoothed it out with, I
Okay,
don't know,
so
like clay.
essentially, I went about this the same way I draw every character.
Or
Circle,
smooth.
head
No,
shape,
I don't
neck,
have masking
shoulders,
tape. I
eyes,
used
you
all
know,
of
the
it.
usual. And I definitely like loosened
Fun,
up a
fun.
lot of it. So
I said
made
fun.
her
I said fun,
fluffier,
YouTube.
softer looking, gave her face a bit of a younger appearance, kind of like softened that as well. I don't tend to draw like the bridges of noses. I do it on occasion, but I think I was trying to draw like a button nose, so kind of what I decided to draw this time. So I tried to keep all the same elements in there, similar top, wings, pixie cut, headband. The wings changed a lot because in the original sketch, her body's tilted, so I drew the wings coming out the back. Now with the new sketch, her body's not quite as shifted, so the wings are coming out more behind her, but on either side of the head. There's gotta be a reason for that. It's not as
What time is it?
I also did
About
like
30 minutes
stars
until I
I
wrap up and go to bed.
Magical creature. Magic should just be like radiating off. That was a good addition. Yeah, here is a little fairy girl. Let's go on to the next page. I bet you can't guess what the sketch is going to be. Give you 2 seconds. It's a dry erase marker. Yeah, everyone's drawing them these days. I tried to be a little fancy with it and twist it a little bit so it's kind of like looking down the barrel. I thought it would be a little bit more dynamic. Ran into a few problems here, so I brought out a good old ruler and a vanishing point, and I kind of just drew some lines to kind of help figure out where all those would go. It also occurred to me that the dry erase marker's cap kind of bends in, and then like the little focal thing.
Try not to burn
Once
myself.
I had those like perspective lines, it kind of got a lot
What did I
easier.
just
I
say?
just had to follow the rules I set out for myself with the ruler. And that's when I noticed all the mistakes I had made without it. So I really improved from there. And I just added in some text and boom, dry erase marker. Let's go on to the next page. I like to call this one Creepy Kid Portrait. I distinctly remember exactly where I was when I was drawing this because I was out in those days. And people kept walking by me and seeing it and they're just like because originally it wasn't supposed to be creepy, but from all the reactions, I did alter it a little bit and added like the creepy shadow and just kind of emphasized it.
reference.
It's like, oh, that's what I meant to do all along. So this time going in, knowing it's what I meant to do all along, I was able to emphasize it even more with the current skill set that I have. So you'll notice I changed the angle that we're looking at the characters. So now they're looking very creepily directly at us. So no matter like how you're looking at the page, it's gonna feel like this character's like looking into your soul. I kept the like smooth, slick back schoolboy haircut. The outfit and everything that all stayed the same. Now where it got a little creepier was the eyes. So I kind of opened them wider, shrunk the pupil, added some like shadows under the eyes to really just make everything feel uneasy and I guess unwell in a way. To take the from the original sketch with that like dark shadow behind it, I thought it would be more interestingly unique and made it kind of globular shape. So I actually drew the all around it, that in with like a little bit of shading. So I filled that in slowly, like blending it out with my finger to make it pretty soft. I took a eraser on the back of my pencil and I kind of like cleaned up the edges to recreate that smooth shape. After blending it, it kind of got lost. Then I outlined the character with the white to kind of make it look like he's glowing in the darkness. And then to even make that further, because I was having a lot of fun, I created like these
Well, that was a
radiating
waste.
starburst
Don't even like it.
from his face. And yeah, here we have a creepy portrait of a boy.
So, maybe I should just draw.
Incoming dishes. Dawn Power Wash flies to 99% grease and brine in half the time. And it absorbs grease 5 times faster. Even replaces multiple cleaning products. Those sets got game. Dawn Power Wash, the better grease getter.
He's got a tooth.
Being a camp counselor has been challenging. Camp directors always causing us. And if we mess up, we're forced to play the simulated games. I know you can tell me to hang in there. If I don't pay now, I don't think I'll get you all alive.
Going in a completely different direction, we have the next page, which is still a portrait, but far less creepy, I would hope. So this is actually my grandma, and at the time I had drawn this for her using a photo reference, and I think I kind of like traced it a little bit and then added a little pizzazz. Definitely did not trace the hair. That would have taken forever. I think I just played around with that. But yeah, this go around, I thought, let's see what I can do without the photo reference and try and just recreate it from scratch. So going at it the same way I would draw any other character, circle for the head, shoulders, kind of just laying out where all the body parts go. Body face parts? What do you say? Trying to figure out where all the elements of the illustration would go.
Alright, I
When
think
you're
I'm
drawing
gonna set the
specifically
puppet
for
aside.
real life, getting the proportions of the facial features.
I have
Getting
no
the proportions
motivation to
of the
work
facial
on this
features is
tonight.
important, and then also getting
And
the proportions
these
and
teeth are gonna take
distances
forever to
between
dry.
the facial features is very important.
Cure,
So
dry,
I kind of
whatever.
focused on doing that.
So,
and I think it
I'll
turned
go
out
set
pretty
this
useful.
aside
She has
and
since
back to
passed
drawing.
away, so it was an interesting
Puppy's
experience recreating an illustration. It's been so long since I've seen her. Yeah, it was kind of like spending time with her
1
again.
minute.
I tried to put like maybe a little extra effort into it too because of that. So I think it
Welcome,
shows.
welcome.
Actually, I'm pretty happy with it. Why do I always say pretty happy with it? I'm like really happy with this one. Okay, I think it looks like her, but also in my style, which can be a very difficult balance to find sometimes. Like you can make it look too realistic, which is like that's a problem to have, or you can make it look too cartoony, and it doesn't look like the person. But I think it turned out very, very well. I'm really happy with the contrast.
The
like,
original
areas
drawing that we
areas
did
of dark.
this strand.
Yeah, honestly,
Here it
I
is.
think the new one looks more like her. Okay,
And
let's move on
we're
to
gonna move on to drawing something
this
else.
is
Maybe an
another
animal.
kind of
I want to draw an
recent
animal.
illustration. The last page is so
Just
proud. I remember
look
being
up
so proud of
inspiration
that
and
illustration at the
references
time. So
on
I tried
Pinterest.
to like copy a photo I had of me and my friends. I say friends questioningly because I'm the one on the left. The one in the middle was my best friend at the time, and then the one on the right was just a girl. Like, I don't know why this photo was taken. Like, why did I choose to redraw this one? I think I was just kind of happy with it. But yeah, essentially, I kind of like traced out the area of everything, so I knew where all the faces went, and then I drew the faces without just looking at the reference instead of tracing it anymore, because this paper is really thick in the sketchbook and it's very difficult to see through it. But when it came to actually redrawing it, I obviously kind of did it in my normal way. The most
just
trouble I had was
scrolling through
with this
references on
username.
Pinterest.
Like, it's written right there.
I feel like
don't know if
drawing
you
an
can
animal.
see it. We'll call her S. So with S, I had the most trouble with her face. I do not draw faces in this angle. Yeah, it was not easy. Redrew that quite a few times. And honestly, when I had chosen to redraw my entire
What if I drew one of my
sketchbook, I kind of like
dragons?
flipped through it a little bit, and this was one where I was like, I don't know if I really want to do that. It's kind of a
Cover
lot
my
for
background wall and my
I look at it, I have a lot of
characters.
fun. I think the
That's a
part
good
I actually
idea.
had the most fun with was drawing people in poses that I don't necessarily
Maybe I should draw
intend
Sanity
to.
then,
So like
because
me on
he's
the
been
left, I'm kinda,
decommissioned.
like leaning over and I'm actually holding my instrument. You can't see it in the photo. I remember this like it was yesterday. Now here's something, and don't get too
Alright,
bored of it. I
instead
drew a
of scrolling through
circle that
Pinterest,
like
I've got to find a
encompassing
photo in my
the
camera
characters.
roll.
And this is something I'm going to do a lot of moving forward because I later discovered that it
my
really helps
characters.
me center the illustration on the
Sanity.
page. And once I had the faces
Ah,
about where
there
I
he
was
is.
happy with them, I added
Can you
in
see
the
that?
camera, and then the only two
We're going to be
hands were in
redrawing
this
him,
illustration.
but
Wow, I
with
had to draw
full
3
body.
faces. I only had to draw
What if I
2.
found a
That was a good day.
spot
So yeah, here we
reference
have
on
it.
Pinterest?
New version. For one that I was kind of skeptical. Well, that was not a word. Skeptical about drawing. I think it turned out really, really great, and it might be one of my favorite. Well, you can be the judge when you see the ones that start getting good. Okay. Next up, we're talking about an illustration that was from the imagination, very inspired by I Dream of Jeannie. I believe at the time I was watching it regularly. We'll say. When it came to redrawing this, I was kind of like trying to figure out what was the important part. And like, I think it's the headpiece, but then the facial expression is interesting. So I tried to emphasize that. These are more of a surprised face. Okay. This is one of the ones where I kind of changed a lot from the reference material. So I kind of shrunk down the character so you can see more of the outfit because I thought it'd be fun to explore that idea. I kind of copied the little pattern I had on her hat and brought it down to like this, oh, what do you call it? It's like a chest piece, shoulder piece. I don't know. But I took very heavy inspirations from like the shapes that I had drawn, even though I had not drawn many when it came to the outfit. And then I also, for the hair that was poking out of the top of the hat, I kind of made it look a little bit more like hair. Then I actually added in some earrings because I thought,
Hello.
let's use it. And I just added in the circle
Ivan.
again. Look how it just like fills the page better. Then I just added in the braid and darkened the hair to add a little bit of contrast. I did tweak the outfit just a little bit more to make it look a little bit more like a genie. I don't know. And then I gave her like a choker. And that was that. I'm pretty happy with the way this one looks. The face, I don't know how to draw surprise faces. I'll add that to my list. But let's move on to the next page. So here is my original character, Magna Girl, in a bit of a, I think this was like chibi style, you know, at the time. Big head, little body, stumps for feet, essentially stumps for hands with a thumb. It worked really well for me. I remember having a lot of fun drawing this style. So there are quite a few more in the sketchbook in that style. Now I like this page. I love Magna Girl. I was really, really excited about recreating this. And I think I got a little too cocky. Okay, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go in with my pink mechanical pencil. I'm gonna add in some marker. I'm gonna make it so colorful. I'm gonna make it awesome. It's gonna be great. Everybody's gonna love it. I'm gonna be happy with it. It's gonna be like the best day I've ever had in my life. Can you tell that my expectations might have been a little too high? And when that happens, that's usually where I start catching a little art block. Luckily, I'm a little bit more experienced now. I know what's happening. I can see it. I can catch it, move on. It's not like the illustrations are bad. And I'm sure this is true for you as well, even if you think what you draw sucks. Another thing that I think I rushed into with this one was the colors. I didn't spend enough time picking the correct colors. She does have a couple variations of her outfit, and this one doesn't work so well, I think, for this age. She should be a little bit more pastel when she's younger. It was a bit oversized. This is when I noticed that I was like drawing her really stretched out, which is a bit of a theme for the illustrations I made on this day specifically. I think it was the way I was sitting in my chair. I was like looking at her sketchbook, like down it instead of down at it. And then I saw how like tall and lanky the character was turning out. And I was like, oh shoot. And since I wasn't like super thrilled with the results of this page, I did add a couple extra magnets, kind of like filling in the space, warming up my wrist. This was my first illustration of this day. So I just realized I jumped in a little too hard too fast. Into the next page, knowing full well some of the issues I had with the previous one, I decided to take this one simpler. So I grabbed my pencil. It's been treating me well so far. And so this first character is Spider Girl. I don't know. I made it up at the time. I had no idea about like spider characters. I kept this in a very chibi style as well. Changed up the pose just a smidge. This illustration, I had so much fun with this, but my camera turned off, so we'll just jump to that. See the spider web? Like, put a little time into it. Look at all those lines. Ugh. Yeah, there's my Spider Girl. Now the second character, I remember creating kind of out of some clothes that I owned. I never wore them together like this. It's a look, not a good way. But I thought she looked sporty, so I gave her like a gold medal, like she just won something. I don't know what I was thinking. It was fun to redraw. All right, next page, we're continuing with some more chibis, because I guess I was having fun with that at the time. We have a cowgirl. We have someone, it's definitely inspired by a movie, but I can't remember what. And then the one on the right is Maria from The Sound of Music. This was the final page I chose to draw on this third day. And it kind of just solidified to me that I'm like, I think I need to take a break now. Again, I had that problem where I was like looking at them from the wrong angle. I think I just had a bad case of the lazies, and it would have been smarter to just not. You know, sometimes it's good to push yourself, not gonna lie. Sometimes you just have to. But when you're doing just like a fun project like this, you really want the fun to be there. And then so on the days of lazies, you should do something you've been putting off anyway. So you're like, I'm in a bad mood, let me just do this thing I didn't want to do anyway. And this is my example. And again, it's not like the art is like the most hideous thing I've ever seen. It's just that I didn't have fun making it, and so I feel that way when I look at it. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna start this fresh. Day 4. Let's go. Let's see what happens. I don't want to like come out and say it, but I think this was my favorite day. I think I had the most fun, and I think it definitely showed. So here is my Indiana Jones girl. She's swinging. She's landing on a cliff. Is she gonna fall to her death? It's kind of hard to tell. I didn't draw the next frame, so anything could have happened. But when recreating it, this is when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna redraw these. If I had the idea to draw this illustration on the left right now, how would it look? So I'm switching it up. I'm changing the angle, the entire pose. Everything's pretty much different, and yet it's like the same concept. And that was something I took with me and moved into all of the illustrations with, and I'm just so glad that I did. I'm not sure how much this will
I'm
be able to
redrawing
squeeze into
my
the video, but I
dragon
really drew
character
her
right here.
legs.
Oh, let me zoom out
I'll
for you.
be generous and say I
I'm
drew her
redrawing
legs
this
probably
for my
about
background.
1,372 times, but it was worth it. You know, it turned out really well. I like
like a
the little
pencil.
background. I like the change of the clothes. Originally, she was in a skirt, and I decided to give her pants. I just thought it would blend better to her adventurous lifestyle, and I could draw the pose that I wanted to without it being indecent. Once I was happy with the pose, I actually took my kneaded eraser and I kind of just erased the whole thing lightly so I could just barely see it. Then I sharpened my pencil and went over the whole thing again. And so it's got like a more finished, refined style. I'm really happy with this one. Great start to the day. It's time to move on to the next page. Okay, next up we have this like anime manga looking witch. I dabbled. I gotta say, it didn't stick with me for very long, but there we have it. Let's recreate it. Again, I'm gonna redraw it how I would imagine it to look if it was just like an idea in my head and not a reference I was recreating. You can kind of see I started with some thumbnails, and when I had something that I was excited about, I moved much larger. So I started with the broom, added in the pose, kind of did like the sack of flour technique for her torso. So what I want her to look is like kind of terrified. I feel like that's what I see in the reference, like she's falling. She looks scared to me. That is what I really tried to capture. Even after creating the thumbnails, I still took a couple attempts to get the pose right in the larger version. I even went back to the thumbnails and tried something again to see like, is this really working? And I moved back to the larger one and tried again. I found pushing the terrified expression really helped. In the end, I I ended up with something that wasn't much like the thumbnail or the reference at all. Kind of just like tightly squeezed her legs around the broom. She was just like not letting go. Then once I had a pose, it was time to add in the outfit. This was tricky because there's a broom, there's her legs, and she's wearing a skirt, and it's like, how? It was definitely easiest after kind of erasing it a little bit and then going over it again and finding all the little details in there. And then it's time to figure out that skirt. I found it was easiest to really emphasize like the motion, like she's moving really quickly, make sure anything that's not like tight to her body is flowing behind her. That's something I took from the reference. You can kind of see that tie is flowing behind her as well. So I just took that same movement and added it to the skirt. I did change up the hair. It's not my style. Again, I was redrawing it if it was an idea I had in my head right now. There it is. I'm really happy with this one. So let's move on to the next page. Here we have, I guess, another self-portrait. So this is me and my best friend at the time. She was in that previous illustration, the one in the middle. When it came to recreating this one, I really wanted to add a little bit more perspective to it because looking at the reference, like what plane of existence are they even standing on? Well, they're sitting, but still. So I sketched in a bed because, again, I'm the artist. I know what I was drawing. That's a bed they're sitting on. I think this was kind of based off of a specific time when we were sitting on my bed. And she had brought over like
drawing
a
a
teen
prom
magazine
color is going to be a
because it has those, like,
nightmare.
fun quizzes to see who like your celebrity husband is or whatever. And a random memory is that it had an article about the girl who had been cast as Lava Girl in Shark Boy Lava Girl. Does this age me at all? Ooh. And we were both so jealous that she got to hang out with Taylor Lautner. Anyway, that's like the stuff flooding back while I was recreating this. So yeah, it wasn't in the original version, but I gave my best friend the magazine just to kind of encompass it all together. I think I did a much better job enclosing them into a scene, like it's us. And my bed drawing skills have improved tenfold. And yeah, really happy with this one. The background is very simple, sketchy, but I just wanted to like give them an environment to live in. So there we have it. All right, next up we have fan art. So this is a character by Mark Curley. I believe her name was Miki, and she was from his manga Miki Falls. So yeah, he was like my favorite person to watch on YouTube. He'd do all the art tutorials and talk about the mangas he was creating. So I remember I got his, I guess you're not graphic novels, they're mangas from the library, and I was reading them. So this was like my little homage to that. And since the original illustration is in colored pencil, I decided to recreate mine in colored pencil as well. I'm not the best with colored pencils, but I did find these that I had, which are like 3 colors mixed into each pencil. I was able to use some of that, and then I found a colored pencil that has a color on each end, so I was able to use those. And I was actually able to find very similar colors to what I had used for the original illustration. Now, fun fact, I think I made up those colors because that's just the colors I had at the time, so it's not right, you know, finding colors I had now at the time to recreate the colors I had then at the time. In the original illustration, her hair does look very blonde, but I distinctly remember in the manga her hair being very, very dark. So don't worry, we go over that. As I was like adding in all the colors for each of the different elements, I decided to use a dark blue pencil instead of black for the lines. I just thought it would look a little bit more soft that way. This is the part that really brought life to little Miki, like adding in
I think I'll
skin
finish
and the
this
blush.
tomorrow.
It just looks like a
For me,
character
it
now
is
that a
close to
little behind her.
midnight.
And
So
I'm very happy with it. Did you think I'd say that? Probably. I've said it about everything else. All right, now the next page. This is another one where I was like, am I going to bother redrawing this? But then I was like, no, I'm going to redraw everything, so I have to. It's an eyeballs. I think quite specifically, it was actually an manga eye tutorial by Mark Curley. And this is another one
I think I can
at
least put some white art in. I can do the feathers tomorrow on the back of his head.
Boy face, very random disembodied eyeball, with larger head, with a very pointy chin, and the big dark eyeball. It's crazy just seeing the differences. You know, it's not like a finished illustration or something, but just seeing how I would tackle the exact same thing now versus that. Very interesting. And then finally, the last eye in the top right that kind of reminds me of a keyhole. So yeah, that was this page.
Refresh the everyday mental space. Yes, the fresh. We're here for our convertible.
Change of plans? How about this? Here. Your home is your happy place until you come back to that.
going to compliment your sense to fight odors.
Maybe
And
if I
provide
switch
freshness
between
for up to
one
50 days.
words.
Try Febreze Plug.
Next page. Here we go. We're going in again. We're going to draw Magna Girl. I'm going to really redeem myself this time. I was really excited about this. I changed up the pose. I used a line of action. I had that arm way above her head. I got her flying. I was ready for this. And because I was ready and I was comfortable with making changes, I was smart enough to move the arm when I realized I would like it better below her head, because at the time of drawing the left illustration, Magna Girl was far less developed. I didn't know when she learned to fly. I didn't know how she learned to fly. But now I know those things. So I know that that's not really how she flies. So she flies more with her arms a little more Iron Man-y, I guess. Gotta stay true to what we're at right now. I also know that when she learns to fly, she's much older. So I updated the outfit, made it a little bit more mature. Gave her a cool utility belt, started up all my favorite lines, added in some fire blasting out of her limbs, added in some hints of cloud in the background just to make it look like she's flying, I guess. So yeah, super happy with this one. I did have the same issue where it kind of got elongated because of where I was sitting, but I think it works because she's like moving upwards. It kind of like stretches her out a little bit. So yeah, happy with that. What is this? Okay, so we're redoing this one. She's very lobby. She's got these like, looks like sticks of butter sticking out of her everywhere. I guess I was thrilled about that concept. So I kind of just maintained what I liked about it. Kept the pose extremely similar. Kept the ponytail, kept the crossed arms. And around here is where I like shifted in my shift. So around here is where I kind of like shifted in my seat, got up above it, noticed that her head was a little too small for my liking. And this is, I think, what made the biggest improvement for the sketch is when I erased the face and redid it completely. I think I just like the sketch a lot more now.
Welcome
and
in,
sometimes when you don't
welcome.
like something, just try and redraw the
just
face. Maybe you like all the rest of the whole
drawing one of
lot.
my
I get very
decommissioned
gung-ho by
puppets.
the new face.
Oh.
I kind of just darkened up all my favorite lines of the sketch, finished it up, added a little bit more contrast, and there we have it. I did not add the blobs. I apologize if that was something you were looking forward to. Alrighty, next one up we have a pirate. Another thing I was obsessed with at the time. I believe Pirates of the Caribbean has like just come out. So we're talking like the height of pirateness. I started this one off with like the background, and we've got that big bag of pirate loot. We have the chest. The chest originally was like kind of small behind the bag, but I made it bigger and kind of like sitting on top of it. Then it came to trying to make the pose work. So I wanted to make sure that it looked like this character was actually laying on it. So I wanted like the butt to be close to the camera and that the head is like pushed backwards like they're laying down. This was extremely tricky, but let's just say the pose changed a lot. I kept moving the legs, ended up moving the arms a couple times. It was an adventure. Something I changed a lot was the hair. I decided to make it look a little bit more, I don't know, historical. Like it's a wig or something. I love everything except the face. And I redrew the face a couple times and it just wasn't really able to get it to work. But there's our pirate lady. And next up we've got Dancing Girl. I was going to recreate this in the exact same pose, but my brain told me something else, so I decided to listen to my brain. I kept the like wide stance of the legs, you know, like that dancing movement. I figured it would kind of translate better if I did something different with the arms, and I noticed pretty quickly that it just didn't look like she was moving enough. It kind of just looked like she was stretching, so I played around with those legs as well. I went with the slight squat. I think it just has a little bit more movement to it. I tried to update the outfit because I wasn't that inspired, let's say, by the one on the left. I took inspiration from like the capris that she's wearing, and I'm like, well, what kind of capris do people wear now? Well, people wear kind of like leggings, so I made leggings. And then the top, I was like, what kind of top goes with that? So I tried a couple things, and this is what I ended up with. And I had to make sure that she had the two buns in her hair because I felt like that was important. And this is what I ended up with, a simple dancing sketch. All right, next up, some of you may recognize this. This is my pilot girl. I actually used this sketch for like a redraw video like 3 or 4 years ago. So I think it was when this sketch was 10 years old. I recreated it and I like colored it all in, and I can't really remember what it looked like. And I chose to not look. I didn't want it to influence how I'd recreate it this time. So I looked at the one on the left and redrew it on the right. So you did the same old guidelines, darkening it up, adding contrast, developing the outfit. I did change up the outfit a lot. I do remember doing that as well with the redraw. And something I noticed about the original sketch was that there's like movement in the scarf. So I wanted to emphasize that even more. And I also added that movement to the hair. One thing I do remember from the redraw was making her pants have that like like goofy kind of like explorer look. So I added those in as well. Something else I wanted to do was like give her a little bit more confidence, and I was able to do that by kind of changing up the pose, raising that hand that's on her hip a little higher. Yeah, I was really happy with this one. I had so much fun with it. Like it felt like hanging out with an old friend again, because it's like the third time I've drawn it. I do think, I'm not gonna look, but I'm gonna take a guess and say this is my favorite recreation of it. I'll put up the redraw just to show you, and that you can be the judge. And you know what? I'll link that video down below if you want to cringe a little too.
Hi. Just redrawing my original characters.
The results of that previous sketch. I code hide the next one. This is what I like to call girl on a block who's bored. I started with the block, but I realized that the ankle of it was not the same as the one on the left. So I redrew that block. I got a little overwhelmed. And so I decided to draw the character first and just add the block in later. I've been having a lot of fun lately, like drawing squishy poses. So I really tried to emphasize the squashiness of the pose. I tried to keep the pose as close to the original as possible, but again, drawing it how I would now. So I changed the angle and kind of had her looking up at the viewer instead of sideways.
Thank you.
And once I knew where her butt was, I added in the block.
I think I'm just gonna finish up the line art and go to bed. It is close to midnight. Yeah, actually.
The one on the left, she's like leaning down on her knee, but her
If you can
leg
read
is
that.
just the size of the other leg. I don't think that'd be very comfortable. And if it was happening,
Yeah, it's,
it would be far more
10 to
bent
midnight.
over, so I decided to bring that knee up so it would be more casual, I guess. I kept that sweatshirt hoodie, and then I added in hair the way I draw hair now. So here we go.
Thank
This
you.
is what I ended up with. Another one that I'm just like so excited about showing you guys because I had so much fun with it, and I really like.
I'm
the way
gonna
it
be
turned out.
so
Yeah,
tired
it's a circle
tomorrow.
background. All right, the next page we have a girl, I don't know, like in an Easter dress or something. So I left space in the page.
Sorry, I'm like trying to keep my face out of the camera.
Because I
I don't like showing my
specifically remember
face.
that I drew that one first, so I'm just kind of trying to recreate the pose as closely as possible. I did twist like the torso and the body a little bit. so
Actually,
I'm
where's
trying
my
to recreate
mask?
everything.
There it is.
It's fun tidbit
It's
of information.
handmade
I
mask,
distinctly
it's
remember when I
cardboard,
drew this,
it's
I was
loose,
like,
and
looks like a
really
little
doesn't
pin
know.
drop, but it's on a adult vibe, so that is why I created the chibi version, because I was like, I really like this dress, and it's really fun to draw, but I just don't like the way it looks. So by recreating the smaller version, I was able to like get the best of both worlds. So this was really
This
interesting
mask is
pose to
really
draw. I
loose.
had a lot of
Like,
fun with it. Kinda like
it hangs
figure out
off
how
of my
to look
chin.
my style now. So
I need
her
to
arms are,
tighten
like,
it.
very away from her body, and then she's holding her own hand, kind of like that. I really like that pose. I feel like I want to do that again sometime. All right, and moving on to the chibi version. Again, I got to do it in my style, the way I draw chibis now, which is kind of lanky bodies with a big round head. So that's exactly what I did. I also decided to make it look just a little younger, so I gave it little pigtails instead. So the adult version, using air quotes, has like a big bun on the bottom, and then the younger version has two little buttons on the top. But yeah, other than that, same pose, same outfit. Yeah, this piece turned out really cute. I'm quite happy with it. All right, moving on to the next one. So this character was originally like a friend of Magna Girl. So there were, I think there were 3 characters, and they each had superpowers. So Magna Girl was fire. This girl was Sparkles. That was her magic power. Anyway, when I looked at this illustration, I immediately pictured it like the same pose, but her looking over her shoulder instead. So that's what I decided to go with for the outfit. I have not drawn this character probably since, well, let me look, 2008. So it's been a while. I decided to update the outfit a little bit, give it more of like a magical floaty vibe. So it's got like these weird like circles that look like slices of squash. I thought it worked. I also played around with the hair and changed that up. She's kind of just like floating there. So instead of the hair like blowing upwards like she's falling, I made it look a little bit more like she's just floating there, like casually looking at you and like eye flirting. And then since her magic power is sparkles, I had to add lots of sparkles. Again, same drill. Once I was pretty happy with it, I went over and like darkened all the lines just to really bring life into it. And there it is. I think her hair is my favorite part. Okay, next sketch.
Let me
So this is
angle
my,
the camera a
pop
bit, so
star.
it's- there we
Looking
go.
back, it looks a
Now you
lot
can see the
more
full
of a
thing.
star to me. I don't know. I don't think I knew much back then. I chose to emphasize maybe a little bit more country vibes, maybe like a small or music club thing. So I drew her in the center of the page, and I worked on the pose and really made it look like she was singing instead of just looking behind her. And then there's these 2 little
Let me see if I can find a
illustration
reference
on the
for
left that were supposed to be like lights that are
clean
shining
color.
over. So I took advantage of that and like made them more part of the illustration instead of just an add-on. And I started darkening up some of the sketch, figuring out the outfits. I kept it pretty similar. What I thought was funny is the one on the left. She has like
I'm getting
zip-off
distracted.
pants. Like she can turn them into capris or shorts, which were popular at the time. So I kind of kept those lines. Then I added some more lights on like the edge of the stage, and then I added in some fans. I really like that guy. He looks happy. I thought some tattoos might suit her. Pretty happy with
There we
that. I think I
go.
did a really
That
good
should
job
work with my eraser.
taking what it was, like the one on the left, and then just stepping it up a notch. And next up, we have this
Hello.
cute little sketch. Funny story. At the time when I drew this, I thought it was so obvious that if someone within my sketchbook, they'd know who this guy was because it was my crush at the time. And that I decided to change up the character so that it didn't look like me
Welcome.
and gave it like
I'm
tights and stuff like so.
Probably
something
gonna be
that
leaving soon here.
so that it wouldn't
Shut
be
up.
obvious. But now everyone knows. Anyway, recreating this, you'll know this. I've made all the characters a lot bigger. I decided to do like a torso up situation. I thought I would be able to emphasize or work on the arms and the shoulders a little bit better because that was something I was like nervous about. So that is what I did. And I'm really glad that I did too, because like if I was gonna have to draw the legs, I would have to make everything smaller, and I wouldn't have been able to do what I did. This arm also takes grief. I wasn't entirely sure where to put it, and like look, it looks so broken right now. I just wanted to show you that. But yeah, this I just kind of moved around legs and arms willy nilly until I thought it looked better than it did before. Moved knees a lot, and then once I got to a pose that I was pretty happy with, I was able to kind of like iron out the clothes a little more, move some butts. Yeah, you know, the usual. Something
Thank
that I
you,
think
thank
helped
you.
add in a little depth is, like,
It's
adding
my
shade
original
to
character,
her
which
body
I
parts.
actually
Like,
decommissioned
his right
the
arm
puppet
is in
for because he
shadow.
broke.
Her right shoulder is very
But
dark.
this is
That
the
was pretty
character.
good. I've read
Can you
that
see that?
drawing two characters interacting is like
Yeah, I'm
the
just
most difficult thing.
redrawing
ever. So,
him.
like, hugging, kissing, piggyback riding. I understand what they're saying. It's hard to draw them without them going
It's-
through each other. It was difficult. That's all I'll say. There we have it. This is what it ended up looking like after playing around with it for about an hour. I'm quite happy with it.
Just
I think it's something I
trying to
would
fix
love
this
to try
crown
again.
collar.
Maybe look up some references next time. All right.
Pinterest is so hard to zoom in.
Mistler cleansing water. It removes up to 99% of makeup in just one step without harsh rubbing. More than 100 million bottles sold from the #1 Mistler water worldwide by Garnier.
Okay, next up, we've got, this might be from a how to draw book. It's not. It's my own thing. If it is my own thing, I would really like to critique it. But I don't
So
know like,
nervous
how it
now.
is if it isn't in a how to draw book.
Mostly
But
because I don't want to
anyway,
get caught, because
it would be just to draw away on the
family
book.
doesn't really know about any of this. They only see my puppets.
Low-rise jeans, super baggy
And it's
cargo
midnight.
pants,
I should go to
arms up
bed.
over the head a little bit differently. I suppose it would look pretty similar. It's just from like a
I
different
should, but I
angle.
won't.
But honestly,
Honestly,
didn't
I
spend
probably
too much
won't.
time on this. I kind of just went with my gut for every decision instead of redoing anything. So this is what that looked like. Okay, next up, this was definitely from a how to draw book. I like that I titled it Fallen. Anyway, recreating it, so I did a little circle for the background, and I started adding in the character with the pose. So what I decided to keep was that she had fallen over, her knees are touching, her butt's on the ground.
That's probably as good as I'm gonna get that clown collar.
So that's what I kept. Everything else I kind of just tried to do a little bit different.
Yes,
Mostly the style.
You need
The
proof
style
of
is
the time
my
for
style
me.
now. I decided to make like the clothes a little baggier.
Mm.
I don't know, something I would draw. I also noticed that her bum was showing based on where I put the legs, so I gave her some like biker shorts.
I really need to go to bed.
Naturally, what's specifically interesting about this one is that when I drew it, I know I followed a tutorial and all that, but I was so happy with it. Like when you make something that you're happy with, you don't easily forget. And I remember that feeling, and I feel that way about the new recreation. And it's like sharing that with myself. If I could go back like 13 years ago and show this to my past self, what would I think? Because I think that I would think that was crazy. Like one day my art will look like that. And just recreating this entire sketchbook really put into perspective how important it is to encourage people when they're doing something they enjoy. I just know without the encouragement that I got in this first sketchbook, that things could have been very different. Anyway, here's the
think
finished version of
that's
that in my own style.
that for now.
I'm quite happy with the scrunchiness.
Sorry,
of the
can't
coat.
really see the chat from where it's angled.
Natural. Okay, we're getting into the final stretch here. This was the last
Sometimes
day
on
I
Broadway.
worked on this sketchbook. We're drawing Princess Rumble.
fun.
I remember spending hours on this, like shading all the wrinkles with my finger and adding in more cross hatching and then blending and then hatching and then blending and hatching and just adding extra layers. I think originally the dress was like
shaky
that short
camera.
length, and then I added another one. So like the dress just kept getting longer and longer. I think the difference
I did not make
between the
this
original version is that she's running,
crud.
and I think it
I have to add the
translates
feathers
because
separately.
They did a good job with like the arms and like the way the dress is moving. But for the new one, I want to really emphasize the running. So
Because he has like feathered ears that go out like that. They're like the size of his head, but at the back.
Faithful, took the needed eraser, erased most of it, and then went over it a second time to find those like fine details. I mean, as fine as you can get with a sketch of this size. So yeah, I didn't exactly spend hours on this one, but I'm still happy with the way it turned out. All right, next up, we've got like a ballerina of some kind. I remember when I made this, but originally it was just like a pose, like, ooh, arms above my head. And I was like, it looks a little weird, so I added in the like cloth. So this time I recreated the drawing with the cloth much more at the front of my mind. I changed up the outfit quite a bit. I kept like the corset thing and like the ruffles, but it just kind of like something. I also pushed like the viewpoint back a
Okay,
little. So now
I
the
thought you
character's
said
just a little
something,
bit
sorry.
smaller. And I also tried to emphasize like the ballerina-ness, so I gave her like a ballerina bob. Originally, the illustration on the left's hair was just, you know, a little lax. By the end of it, I don't think she looked totally ballerina, but she definitely looked like she'd have a stage presence, like maybe like a musical or something. And at the end, I darkened it all up, added contrast, and some sparkles. Pretty happy with that. Second to last one, we have this fairy. So she's got
My
wings
parents are
that
Christian, so
come
they
out.
would think this is
It's one of those ones where I drew it.
I mean,
Necessary.
if you
I didn't
look at
like
my
the
room,
pose
I'm
the last
obsessed
one,
with
so
horror.
I started off very differently, kind of like
I
looking
love
up,
horror,
giving up the
like,
cute little like shoulders.
From horror
Oh,
cups,
shoulders are kind of stuck
cups.
at the beginning, and then the arms going straight down away from the viewer. But the legs for the hard part, I
So,
really wanted
this
to go
doll
like
up
the legs
here,
kind of
I love
spread a little
dolls.
bit further apart because that
There
so
goes that.
I had other plans. It hurts a little bit
So,
to like
this
get
doll.
over this sketch so much because I spent so much time on it. But what I ended up with was like one leg
Yep,
straight
so
down
you can
and
see.
one knee kind of bent.
Yeah.
Added in some nice sparkles. And gotta make it look magical. And I really like the way the wings turned out. And in the end, the pose, I'm happy with it. All right, so
Yeah.
last sketch.
But then there's things like
Reached
this
the
that I
end.
enjoy.
Just need to breathe a second.
Cute
I can't
things.
believe I made it this far. Another uninteresting, unnecessary.
What about a cute little 3D
And
printed
I do
frog?
remember where I
God
was
bless you
when I was
with a
drawing
frog.
this. And it was the waiting room of my dentist. I remember being so excited finishing the drawing because it was the first sketchbook I've ever built. It was like this goal. If I can finish a sketchbook, I'm an artist. And well, I guess I can claim that title. Not taking this finish a sketchbook to be an artist. That was just my brain as a 14-year-old. This is one of the ones that I think I changed up quite a bit. Like, I kept
Nothing wrong with a little cute
but it
thing.
just- the outfit, I couldn't understand what I meant. This sort of style.
I should
Pins, very round front.
probably finish
arm,
this
like
up
the second
and go to bed.
Anyway, I decided to leave that out, but I maintained the like sort of cave girl kind of vibe with the animal print, but I changed up the outfit quite a bit. I actually didn't decide on
Oh
the
man,
outfit
but this
till
was
much later.
fun.
I made sure I had the pose right.
Hey, it's
first,
12:01.
and I really love that big, massive hair. I was sure to include that. Now this was the last page of the sketchbook, right? So I was celebrating in a way. I was a little giddy. I was excited to be at the end of the day. I went a little crazy on
That was
the
on.
outfit, okay? I kept the like
Nothing.
things. I just made them very long. High boots. I can picture this character inputted into that like rock star illustration I made earlier, where she's like singing into the microphone. I feel like this outfit could work, especially the hair. Then there it was. I
Oh.
added depth, you know, make the sketch
My entire
really pop,
clothing,
and that was it.
the majority of
Really,
it is
I did-
black.
So it was about 14 hours across 7 days. But originally it took me like what, 3 months. So it didn't take quite as long.
Maybe-
Anyway, let's go.
I went to Christian schools. Our uniforms were black.
I'm very happy with
Like,
that one. We
jet
have
black
the-
uniforms with
we have the
green and
hands
white
are
t-shirts.
pixie. That's when I feel like things started to go really well. And then the driver-
It ain't emo.
We have creepy boy. What do I call it? Creepy portrait of boy. Creepy boy. Portrait
It's not
of
emo.
boy.
Don't worry about it.
Me and my friends. Those preteens.
Black clothing.
Bikini.
It's
Then the girl
just a
sketches,
style, man.
Really cool Spider-Girl's web. Didn't make it into the video. And then there's the page where I realized I needed a break. The next day came
Oh,
back for
right.
class. We got our Indiana Jones girl, along with a witch who's very terrifying of flying. Me and my friend, into the magazine, Miki, with colored pencil. The random eye page. That's
That's what I call it.
Ooh, I could finish my
Girl
tail.
flying, girl without the bumps. That's what I'll call her. I really like the way the hair turned out on that.
Yeah, too much work.
Dancing
Back to
girl
this.
without the bumps. Oh, so weird. The pilot is one of my faves. This is also another one of my faves. This was a good drawing day. I just like the pose. It seems natural. About what the Easter girl, magic
Too
sparkly
bright.
girl, the rocks.
Need a darker red.
Piggyback riding for the day. Oh, piggyback riding. This one that I didn't spend much time on, and I don't really know what to say. Fallen.
Nope,
I remember
that's
when
too
it
simple.
the Runaway Princess. Ballerina turned more Broadway character. We have the
Too
fairy.
bright.
And finally, the cute woman. Oh my god. You ever like set a goal for yourself and you're like, well, that's dumb. And you do it and you're just like, yeah, well, that's what I did today. I'm very happy to have completed recreating the sketchbook. I didn't realize how much it would mean to me, and it just got me so much more excited about recreating stuff. And when someone I know is like in an art block, I usually recommend recreating something you were proud of
That'll work.
way back in the day. And so just like that on steroids. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming on this adventure with me. It was fun. I'll see you guys all next week, and hope you have a delicious evening full of waffles. Bye.
Be ready for whatever life brings with investment solutions from Canada Life.
Steve Boyfriend took him a jab step, broke his ankle, step back three, nothing but can't do that. Be ready for the high protein from Factor.
Sorry, what?
Welcome back. Today I thought we could do something.
Thank you.
My art, I could draw
Oh god, I started doing art when I was like 9 or 10, so about 8 or 9 years. Yeah.
Bye, Grace. And I love. Thank you.
Like, hold on. If I pulled out one of my old sketchbooks, you would laugh at how bad the art is. I'm working on a sketchbook tour currently, and it has those old sketchbooks in it. I was laughing so hard. My parents thought I was insane when I was looking through those sketchbooks. Like, hold on, I can actually show you because I can't even. Oh my gosh, do you like? I'm going to show you one of my old sketchbooks. It's in this filing cabinet right here. Give me 1 second. So much stuff in here. Oh boy. There it is. My very first sketchbook. It's old and falling apart, and I've lost some of the pages.
I'm gonna use an action line, just kind of do a swoop. That's like the weight is all on this foot. This foot can kind of
Yeah,
hang out.
that's the first ever drawing I've ever done.
Now, line actions. I don't think I use them.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily use them to get them like but I think the rule of thumb is that you go through the and then hit the ground like that.
So, you see, practice works. Ignore my TV. Practice pays off. 8 years. 8 years. I'm holding this mask because it's loose and it will fall off. Anyway, back to this. Where did my pencil crayon go? Where'd my colored pencil go? Pencil crayon, colored pencil, same difference. There it is. I'm gotta go. Aw. Well, have a nice day, night, whatever your time zone is. I'm probably gonna be logging off soon anyway. Just gonna try to finish this part up.
Another character doesn't have ears. That's kind of my thing to add ears, so I don't think go without that. Bangs, a good thing. And the big curl again.
Now I need like a gray. Dark gray.
Right? Keep in mind the hopefully
Ooh, that works.
this sketch will really right. I also just to add a little color up here, add a scripty, just to create a separation between the front and the back. They did a really good job with this line, but I just want to go a little further.
Hello.
Hands like lovely this shit. Just try putting it a little lower. Nope, that is not it. I want to have more fluid motion like this arm and that arm. You can also make the hair way longer, and that will remove that. We have like the curls of the hair happening. Like with the use the hand with like shoulder, maybe. So the elbow would be going in. With some big pony hair. I think that's too big. It's starting to look a little too different from the source material. It's crazy though. Like looking at this one, you can kind of see all the elements in it, but it's not so drawing it that I realize how they kind of interact with each other. So I'm thinking that was a good idea. So I am going to move for a finished piece of paper here. All right, Grace. Take a lot. Animation. Put all the weight on it. Extra cut. And so yep. So you have this hand if I move. I just try to do that exactly the same. A little bit longer. I somehow missed this side of the paper. I just gotta start over. Let's try. Bring it over a little. It's just that pose kind of looks. Just all the way up here. I love the face on that one. These ones are like they're more spread apart. This one I actually just put all the way down on the foot. Zero cones. They're all my falling into a bit of a big ball. Alright. I think the hips are the problem here. Maybe I just need to move that way. That's better. Alright, give them some bangs. Little full cut for the bangs. Little shoulders. Chest. Spinning. So far, I'm having everything but this arm, which is hanging out there. What we doing? Just come this way. Do a little more. Figure out this arm. Honestly, it doesn't look that bad. Just go behind this, but it's just behind everything. Or you can bring the hand up even higher. So, like, all of the weight. Alright, I think that's it. So, we're going to have the color in first, and then do the other. So, let's start with skin in the color eggshell white. I'm still going to have this little hand. I haven't erased any of the pencils because I love the way it looks underneath my see. It's minor if you can see it, you know? There's so much. That's another reason I don't really like this paper so much. It does get kind of sketchy. And if you kind of go around the outside edges first, see what's going on without looking too fancy. Alrighty, that's skin. That's the P220. E220 on the hair. Ooh, it looks way greener on my paper, so maybe I said it's a little more warm. Order daddy. Oops, I went over the skin anyway. Oh, eyebrows. We can use this color too. Alright, for blush, we use this color. I can see it's not quite the right color for the skin tone because it's actually a lower skin instead of being a darker color. But we will follow the theme. Ears. Knees. Shorts. Finally, the stripe on the shirt. And we will this print. Alright, so that's it. I think that's a liner. Sorry, look at this. Complete. Maybe. Let's see. I forgot how stressful it is to do tiny liner. And the nose. What happened?
I'm losing my patience. Losing my mother freaking patience. I should just go to bed. Whatever. I'm almost done. I can finish this in the morning.
There you go. Here's my take on Grace's illustration. I can't really speak enough about how much I really love his drawing. I won't tell you how old this person is, but it should blow you away. Anyway, so now, you Grace, let's move on to another one. Alright, next one was drawn by Look at it. This one actually came over a year ago, but I love it, and when I wanted to redraw things, I instantly had knew I was going to do this one. But this is me putting the evil face to characters. Look how low and there colors. Anyway, it's beautiful. It's very well done. Love that Emily's in character design.
It's about time and my laptop's gonna die. So, this is what I got done. Here. Sanity. Hold on. Show it off a bit better. Here he is. And now I got my persona as well. That's really all I got done in 2 hours. I'm gonna log off and go to bed. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in another one. Bye. Hold on.
But it's been years. Don't forget, yeah. Cinched lace there with some edge. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. With a side purse. Oh, it's cool. Oh, I've got a